What's up? What's up, gamers? How's it going? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, you can see Danny in the background. Danny's doing great. The dog's somewhere. No, she's hiding under the bed. Well, what's up, everybody? What's up, Pain, Shadow? Hello, hello, hello. What's going on, everybody? Anthony, what's going on? What's up? What's up? Who disliked the video already? Yeah, right? Come on, man. Who's doing this? Who's doing this? How's it going? Stinky? Uh-oh, Stinky. All right, guys. Jonah's joining in 8 minutes, okay? All right? I have a list of questions already, but I need more, okay? Ask the questions real quick. help a brother out. We gotta make sure this man leaks some info. Let's go. No. What's up? Wow. Okay, you guys did a lot in there. Legendary, what's up? Bottom text. Hello. Saki, Shadow, Wooden. What's up? I'm doing good. Thank you. I'm gonna be a monkey. I'm gonna turn on the chat into subscriber only mode. Just because the people that have been around here for a while, I want them to get their questions in first. So, I mean, you have to be subscribed for a minute, okay? There you go. Core with the 169 donation. Thank you so much, buddy. I do appreciate it. Avid Volt, what's going on? How's the audio sound, by the way? I forgot. What's up? What's up, gamers? It's your favorite doctor, lawyer, teacher, plumber, astronaut, Johnny Sins here. I know we're all patiently waiting for Dying Light 2 to come out. I'm a big fan of the game as well. I'm waiting too. In the meantime, watch OniZombies. Right there with you. All right. Audio's fine. Perfect. You just subscribed. Thank you so much. Monkey, the freak scope. Oh my god, so many people are subscribing. Holy crap. Okay, that thing is just gonna go off for a while. Thank you all. Thank you. Guys, let's get your purple. Thank you. Get your Jonah questions in. We got a 6-minute timer going here. Collab with Johnny. I should. What is your favorite person you met on the crew for Dying Light 2? That's a good one. I'm going to jot that one down. Who's your favorite crew member you met on Dying Light 2? That's a good one. I like that one. Is Avalon's work still in the game? I believe I asked him that one, and he has no idea. Oh yeah, guys, I forgot. We hit 20,000 subscribers. I forgot. Thank you so much. It's been chaotic. Thank you all so much for 20,000 subscribers. I never thought we would hit that. That's absolutely friggin' madness. Absolutely insane. Okay, thank you so much. We'll interview this nice man for a couple hours as a celebratory 20K special. Alright, so the thing is, I see you guys are asking a lot of what do you call it? A lot of story specific questions. Most story stuff can't be answered, so just know all of that. Legendary Fortnite YT, who's your favorite infected in Dying Light 2? Thank you. I will jot this down for Jonah to answer too. But for me, come on, man, it's the volatiles. It's the volleys. Everyone loves the volleys. Let me ask. All right, I'm going to jot it down right here. Alright, that question is jotted down. How old is Aiden? I think he told me he's like 26. I think he's 26. How did you get the role of Aiden? We'll talk about that. We'll be good. Don't worry. There it is. The legendary Fortnite. Thank you so much. Hey, these notifications are a little bit behind because a lot of people are subscribing. Wow. Thank you. Love it. Unicorn Head. What's going on? Can you play the game without killing humans? I have that one marked down. I'm curious to know too. Can he just do the entire thing without killing anybody? All right, let me adjust the audio real quick just to make sure everything's good. Jonah will be joining with webcam, so you'll be able to see him as he's talking, so that you're not just looking at me. Because why would you guys want to look at me, right? Right, Danny? Why would they want to look at me? I get it. Has he played the first game? He has played the first game. Is there fast travel? There's no word on fast travel yet. How many lines do you have recorded? We have that one. Look at DM. All right. Let's see. Any kid zombies in the game? My man. You all right? Bum, 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 bum. 300 people are already here. Oh, thank you guys for 269 likes too. That's insane. We've only been live for 8 minutes. Thank you. How does the game start? They're not gonna be able to answer that one. Just telling you that now. What was it like playing as Aiden? We have that question. I don't think the game starts in the subway. Maybe it does. I don't know. How many endings are there? We'll try to see if that one can happen. I clicked. Oh, I can't change the latency on here. Well, shit. There's a little bit of a delay. My bad. What happens when the character turns? You die. That's how it was for me. I kneeled over and died. And that was it. That was the end of it. I died and then my body glitched out. And I was like surfing across the entire map. Devs didn't like that one.
Hello. I don't think I can hear you. I think you got muted.
Oh, okay, we're good. I'm muted. Uh-oh. Okay. Let me
Here.
pop you out. You know what? I'll give you...
Oh, wait, there's a pop-out chat for YouTube too. Sweet.
I'll give you my really scuff webcam so that you can actually see
cool.
me
Yeah,
in
nice,
real
nice,
time. Let me change over. There we go.
Do we have a dual screen now?
We have a dual
You
screen
can
now.
see me. Oh my goodness.
There you are.
Hi.
All right.
I had a late night, so I was up till 3:30 a.m. playing Slay the Spire. So please ignore my coffee hangover.
Fair enough. How you doing today, Jonah? Thank you for coming on and everything.
I'm great, man.
Thank you so much for doing the
Are
little.
you still muted?
No, I'm not muted.
Oh, you're good. Okay, I'm behind.
good,
The
I'm
screen,
good.
Then we're good.
The
Sweet.
stream is way behind. I clicked the wrong latency when I started.
Okay, cool.
Thank you so much for doing the short little message to everybody.
Yeah, of course.
Everybody loved it.
I'm glad. That's awesome.
No, you can just
Jonah it's got the Waz. I get that like every other week, dude.
But no, everybody did appreciate it. I'm sure you read some of the comments on there.
Oh yeah, I was on it every other day.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm like that.
Yeah, it was overwhelmingly positive, which is good because I know you wanted to really get involved with the
You have no
community.
idea, man. This game means a lot to me. I really want the community to understand that I'm not just voice actor dude doing voice actor job. Like I begged for this job. Like I wanted this so bad.
I know you've already told me there's about 300 people in here that may not know the story as to how Jonah Scott became Aiden Caldwell.
So
how did that go?
it was about 4.5, 5 years ago. That I had moved to Los Angeles, and then I slept on my buddy's floor for a year, and then I was like, wow, I got to get myself my own apartment because like as cool as it is to pay $700 to sleep on a floor every month, I need to start like doing stuff on my own and figuring things out on my own. So I got an apartment with another roommate, not my own apartment, but I got an apartment with another roommate. Yeah, and I got a PS4. Brought my PS4 from my house, and the first thing I downloaded, I had to wipe it because my brother was using it. So the first thing I downloaded was Dying Light, and I played that for 2 weeks. I played it almost nonstop for 2 weeks because I didn't have any jobs, didn't have any work. I again was like sleeping on the floor still, and I was doing auditions every now and again, but it was auditions for things that like everybody gets auditions for, like Smite. And like a bunch of other like smaller, not necessarily AAA, but like indie titles. But but I was doing auditions for that. Never in my wildest dreams would I think that I would get an audition for Dying Light 2, and I did. And the working title was I think I'm allowed to say it at this point. I think it was Pinhead. Was the working title for Dying Light 2.
Like just Pinhead or
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, so I know this is Dying Light because I'm looking at the sides and they like directly reference characters from the first game. And it's like I'm not an idiot, and I just played this game for 2 weeks, so I know exactly what I'm getting at. I auditioned. I got the role, but I was auditioning for temp voices. I was auditioning for placeholder voices. So I was going to be the guy that the real dude would be listening to get timing and things like that. And I was jazzed to be just part of the game, I was super jazzed to just like get to see like wireframe models T-posing across the screen and like, getting to see these really, really low res versions. Like I got to watch all the cutscenes and all the environment be built in front of me, which was really cool. It looked like Play-Doh at first, and then it just so slowly got more and more detailed. But I did my first few sessions, and they were for just placeholder voices. They were for trailer. I think it's been 15 years since the fall, like that whole old shit.
The Batman
all that
voice.
old stories, yeah, with the Batman voice. And that was all I heard. It was just like radio silence
For how
for
long?
a little while. Oh, 4 or 5 months. And the guy who was managing this job for me, I didn't have an agent at the time. The guy who was managing this job for me, his name's George Ledoux, very good voice actor, works for Apocalypse Studios now. Very good at what he does. He's also in like BattleTech and a bunch of other voices. But he was managing this thing for Techland, and he was in my corner the entire way. He was like, dude, I want this for you too. So I'm going to try and impress upon them as much as I can at every turn that you want to do this. And I would tell them, the dialogue editor, when they would come in and sit, the producers, when they would come in and sit in on sessions, I would be like, hey guys, big fan of the first game. I understand everything. I know exactly what you guys are looking for here. I know what you're trying to go for. So like, please understand if not, but like, I care a lot. So I would come back and do those temp voice things every 4 or 5 months. And they wouldn't tell me anything. And
Classic.
then I was like, all right, I cannot put all of my eggs in this basket as much as I want to. I cannot sit here and just wait for the Techland to give me a thumbs up. So I went on and did my own career stuff. I started auditioning for other things. I got into a bunch of anime. I got into a bunch of other video games. I'm in Elder Scrolls Online. I'm in Wasteland 3. I'm in a bunch of JRPGs. I'm in all kinds of stuff. But Dying Light was the thing that in my back pocket, I was just like, I really hope I nail this. I really hope I get it. And then I got an agent one day because I don't know if you guys know a voice actor named Ben Diskin. He voices Number One in Codename Kids Next Door and a bunch of other. He's prolific. He's a bunch of voice actors, or he's a voice actor for a bunch of characters. And he got me my agent because he was in an anime with me. And he was like, who the hell is this guy? I have never heard of him before. And me and him had a conversation, and I'm like, yeah, I want to do this for a living. This isn't just a fluke. This is something I wanted to do. And then Ben's like, yeah, you want to talk to my agent? And we did it. And I had an interview and a conversation, and we did auditions, and I got the agent. They were like, we'd love to represent you. Fantastic. And then about a week after I got my agent, I sent a message to my game agent, and I'm like, hey, dude, so I think I'm the main character in this video game, but I don't know. I haven't been given a contract. I haven't been given any sort of acknowledgement or anything like that. And I was just wondering if you could poke them. And he's like, yeah, sure. So he poked them. And then the next day he comes back to my email and he's like, hey, dude, you have a session for the video game in like a week. Just make sure your schedule's clear. And I'm like,
and that's when you got the role?
No way. And that's when I got the role. That's how I figured out I got the part. And then it wasn't until like 2 or 3 weeks after that I had done several sessions, and then I think it was the dialogue editor or the PR director at Techland said something that I will never forget. They were like, yeah, they're like, thank you. I said, thank you for trusting me. Thank you for letting me do this and trusting me with this part in this game. And they were like, I thought you already knew. I thought we thought you had already been like briefed on this thing, because nobody else at Techland could possibly imagine Aiden being anybody but you. And I almost cried. Because I could imagine Aiden like I could imagine Aiden. They could tap anybody they wanted to bring in and do this. And I was scared they would. I was scared I would get replaced with a celebrity. I was scared I would get replaced with somebody who's had more experience with me. There's a lot of people who compare me to Troy Baker and Matthew Mercer, people who have free schedules, people who are not who would not say no. So they had options, and I am flattered, humbled, and honored that they went with me. And when I went for the first Dying to Know episode to record, I got swarmed by developers.
Did you?
Because they were, I was in my dressing room, and there was like 8 to 10 developers that came in, very, very bro-y. They came in and they're like, oh my God, it's Aiden! Oh my God. And I'm like, oh my God, you guys really do care. Like, I'm so happy that they wanted me. And
that's awesome.
As somebody who has like, I struggle with depression and anxiety often. And it's like being in that position really was taxing mentally. And then having that sudden relief when I realized that they wanted me the entire time, and I was worried for nothing.
How long was it from when you did your first testing to when you officially knew that you had the role?
4 years.
It was 4 years.
It was 4 years. I did the first test, and then it was on again, off again, like temp voice work for the game, and then I didn't the entire time. That entire span, I didn't know. It was just they would call me back for other things. I don't know what I didn't know. It was not union at the time. Like I had no idea what was going on. And I was just show up at the right time and do what I needed to do and impress upon Mikhail the amount that I wanted to be in this game.
So you sat there for 4 years not knowing whether or not you're going to be in this game?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's wow.
And I would tell my friends, I would be like, hey guys, so like everybody, it wasn't a secret on social media, which is another weird thing about this whole process was that everybody knew that I had the possibility to voice Aiden since like 2016 or something like that, because I had told everybody like, hey, that was my voice in the trailer. And I was allowed to do that.
Yeah.
So it's nutty, and I would tell my friends like I don't know what's gonna happen. They could just replace me with a celebrity, and I just have to shrug and accept that. But that didn't happen. It's insane. It's freaking.
That was your first. That was your first
true.
major role too, right? I think that's what you told me in
the other interview. The like if we count when I was doing the temp work, that was my first major role. Yeah, 100%. That was my first lead role. And then I was Legosi and Beastars and a bunch of other like anime dubs. But this is like this video game, and this is something that I've wanted to do. This is why I moved to Los Angeles, was to do video game work. Like I want to do the motion capture. I want to do the performance capture and the actual like, working in a volume with other actors and things like that. But yeah, it's crazy that it just kind of worked out the way it did, and I wouldn't trade it for the fucking world.
Is that what you always had in mind and what you envisioned yourself doing was voice acting?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to be a chef for a while. I wanted to be a chef. I wanted to be a game developer for a while, and then I realized that I'm way better at acting than I am cooking. I can cook. I went to culinary school for a year, but I'm way better at acting than I am cooking. And yeah, it's just been a pretty surreal experience this whole time. I wanted to be a voice actor. I wanted to move out here and do it. As much as I say his name a lot, it's just because that I mean everybody loves his work to some extent. I've never met the man, but Troy Baker, people compare me to him often, and I don't like comparison very much. Like I understand it's like a touchstone for people, and it's like, oh, he's like this, he fulfills this archetype kind of thing. But Troy has very similar stories about being in Uncharted. If you ever watch an interview with Troy, he like, oh,
do you mean Nolan North?
No, Troy.
Troy? Okay.
Yeah, Troy plays Nolan's brother.
Okay, right.
Nathan's brother.
Gotcha.
In one of the more recent Uncharted's, and he played the first Uncharted Troy when he was on set in Texas doing something. But yeah, it's very strange how some of this stuff is so similar. Yeah.
What were some of the struggles you were running into when you're first starting out voice acting?
I fulfill when you first start voice acting period, like anime dubs. I love doing anime. I love anime period. Anime is like I have a fucking Inuyasha mug for my coffee. Like I love anime. And the anime dubs and dubs in general, like live action dubs, are like one of the lowest rungs on the voice acting ladder. Like they don't, a lot of people who do anime dubs don't get a whole lot of respect for the amount of work that goes into that, because it's way more than some prelay stuff and even video game stuff. Because you have to get the timing right. You have to make sure that all of the words work in the flaps. You have to make sure that the writing sounds like something a human would say, because it's, if you translate something, which is another thing we can talk about Dying Light. If you translate something that doesn't sound like English, people are going to be like, that sounds stilted. And not only that, but that doesn't sound like he's talking in character. And not only that, but it doesn't fit the flaps. Like there's a lot of layers to an anime dub. And shut up, Nathaniel. Nathaniel's a buddy of mine.
I see it in here.
It's a term of endearment at this point. It's a term of endearment. But yeah, it's that the major difficulty was trying to overcome that. And one thing that I really wanted to bring to anime was when I was watching anime before I was moving out and saying like, that's something I could do. That's something I could do. My acting teacher would try and always instill in me when I was a kid, don't just try and like copy something. What can you add to the art? And I'm like, okay, that's understandable. That's cool. What can I add to anime dubs that haven't already been done? You know? And I figured out that it was like a grounded performance. There's a lot of again, Troy Baker, Matthew Mercer, a lot of actors out there that can give grounded performances in anime. But I wanted to give really filmic performances. And because when you watch a lot of anime, it's super over the top. Like JoJo's, it's like yelling. Dragon Ball Z, it's yelling. It's very animated. It's very huge and larger than life. But I really like to bring that subtlety and the I guess the reality to a lot of anime. That's what I get hired to do. And I'm in a lot of like anime that are war dramas. I'm in a lot of anime that are like high school drama love triangle things. I'm a lot of romantic leads, and it's not because I consider myself attractive. it's because like I can put that kind of passion and that kind of emphasis in my voice. But yeah, the main hurdle for me moving out here was getting people to understand that, because a lot of when you go and you do an audition for an anime, there's a certain voice that they have in mind that's just been there in the archetype forever. Like the Troy, you have to do the Troy Baker voice, you have to do the Matthew Mercer voice, and if it doesn't sound like them or exactly like them or adjacent to them, they get that stuff thrown out. So I had to make it my own. I had to make that whole caricature of the leading man into this whole like I had to put a lot of myself into it. And not try and copy people as much as I could.
I see a lot of people are asking in here about Beastars and the Yoshi.
Yeah.
How did you end up landing that role? I'm assuming that was in that 4 years.
Yeah, that was one of the first things that I actually I was in Kengan Astra, which is another Netflix loves to use me. I was in Kengan Astra, which is another Netflix show. That was my first like anime thing that I had done, and then I mean this is only four or so years ago, if that. And then I was Legosi. I got the audition for Beastars, and a buddy of mine actually works at Netflix, and he was like, "Hey, dude, so I know you're already working with this company. I know you're already working with this dub studio, but there's a show that I know you probably didn't get auditions for that went out, and I feel like you would be a good fit for any of these characters because." There's one thing in anime, it's that everybody knows the dudes' voices. All the dudes, for some reason, are very English, easily distinguishable from each other. So they were just looking for a new dude to play a new lead. I had never played a lead in my life in anime, and that was the first one. And I booked it. I was in a session for another show actually when they told me that I booked Legosi, and I freaked out in the booth for like 2 minutes. I was like, "Oh my god, are you serious? I get to play the lead in this thing?" Because I knew the show. Again, I love anime. I knew what Beastars was. I knew the kind of like the tone they were trying to hit. Yeah, that kind of fell in my lap. And that was another one that had a huge fan, like Dying Light 2, that has a huge fan base. And you think to yourself the entire time, you're like, "This is so fucking exciting. I'm so ready. This is amazing. I can't fuck this up." Because if I fuck this up, everyone's going to be mad at me. If I fuck this up, I'm going to be white bread milk toast Troy Baker impression. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thanks, PC Gamer.
Classic PC Gamer.
Classic PC Gamer.
Always making its way in here.
Yeah, it was just, me being young, trying to figure the world out.
How does the development process look like when it's behind an anime compared to how you did it during Dying Light?
Because Dying Light is remarkably similar to an anime, and I will tell you why. I'm gonna pop a bubble that a lot of you guys probably have already built up for yourself. This show or this game, Dying Light 2 was produced in Polish, so it was a localization. There was a script already made, and they brought it over, and then we had to sit down and be like, okay, how do we make this work in English? Same thing with Dying Light 1. It was a localization. It was in Polish first. They had everything done in Polish, and then they brought it over to America, and they're like, okay, how do we Westernize this? So because I've had a lot of experience doing that with anime, I was a pretty good choice for this. I got to sit down with the writer and the director, and we got to make it. We knew what we were. They have done the same thing too. We got to make it colloquial and make it work Western and make it work in English. And this is like, something Aiden would say. And because I had grown with the characters so much, and they had made, and I made this comparison to before, Aiden looked different than when we started. Like, he looks like me now, which blew my mind. I saw his 3D model and I'm like, that dark features, he's got the high cheekbones, like what? That's insane. But since I grew up with him, I was able to be like, I don't feel like this is something Aiden would say. Yeah. And then the writer would be like, okay, cool. What do you think he would say? Or like, okay, cool. How does it flow off of your tongue? Like, and then we would have a brainstorm, and I would say, well, I feel like I would say it like this. And then the writer would adapt that a little bit. And then the director would be like, well, we have to make it fit for the time, or we have to make it fit for this cutscene. And then I would use my, ADR abilities, and we would make it work. And it would turn into a real cutscene.
How often do you think that happened?
Oh, every 5 minutes.
Okay.
Every 5 minutes. And it's not that the writing was bad.
Yeah,
I'm going to get that out of the way. It's that it was a localization, and then it was written into English, and then it's like, okay, this is the translation, and this is the first pass. What do we want to put in the game? You know what I mean? This is what we're trying. This is the gist of what we're trying to say. What do we want to like make it say to make Aiden seem a little bit more human?
Yeah, for sure. You've recorded, what is it, over like 20,000 lines so far?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 10,000 or 20,000 efforts so far, and at least 10,000 lines.
And you're done as of right now with
to my knowledge, yeah.
You mostly recorded it out in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah, Los Angeles, about an hour away in Santa Monica.
Okay. And did the pandemic have any influence on that, or you always did it out in...
The pandemic did. We had I did all of the temp voice stuff from my closet right there. All of it. All of the temp voice work, all the trailers, everything you heard, that was all recorded in my closet. But the biggest hurdle I think we had because of the pandemic was like their writing team. So it was more like Techland's hurdle that they had to go over, because I was ready to go. I was vaccinated. I was ready to go anywhere, anytime, but wherever you want me, Techland, I will be there. Yeah. Like, I was ready to go and do anything they needed. They were the ones who were like, let's take more time and massage this script so it's not like just so we know we're putting out a good product. And so we were just waiting on them. Then by the time they were done, like ready to like record everything and get it going, we were ready to go in and get things started. It didn't take too long to record the whole thing. But yeah, COVID wasn't really as much of a hurdle on our side because the studios had already figured everything out.
Yeah.
I came in, I answered some questions, I signed a form, and we were good to go and record in the studio. Just had to wear a mask, I wasn't wearing a mask when I was recording, obviously, but we just wear a mask. But yeah, and since everything was remote, I mean, we were dealing with people were piped in from Poland. We had a producer, Michał, who was the dialogue editor. He would come in every day. Poor guy. It would be like midnight for him, and it's like 6 p.m. for me. So I'm just like, I wake up at 6 p.m. I'm just like, let's do this. All right, I'm ready to go, Michał, let's go. And it's like 12:30 in the morning, putting the kids to bed, like. And he would stick around for a while, and then he'd be like, okay, you guys get the gist of this. I have work in the morning, so I'm gonna go to bed.
Do you know like the entirety of the game, the whole story, all the
I know
ending,
all of it.
everything?
I know all of it. I know all the Easter eggs. I know all the branching paths. I know everything. I may not be able to recite it to you, but when I play the game, I'll be like, oh, that's that port. All right, I know what's gonna happen here. I know what this cutscene is. But everything outside the cutscenes and outside of things that I say, no idea what's going on. So there could be certain levels and certain things that happen and certain story beats that just don't have Aiden speaking, and I just have never seen them. So,
okay, 'cause I was gonna ask, is it difficult to keep track of everything going on while you're recording all of these
Well,
lines with the branching story paths and different endings and
the
everything?
good news about working with a voice actor who's also a gamer is he understands that shit.
It's good.
He knows exactly what's going
The
on.
perfect
So
answer.
when they say like, oh, this is they can use as much lingo as they want. They can use as much gaming lingo as they want. Mikhail could have said anything in the gaming milieu and I would have understood it. Like when we were doing efforts to like timing things for like special moves or special infected things or whatever. It's about understanding how that sounds when it's done, like how that's going to sound when it's done, and helping that process along. So yeah, it was relatively simple. Didn't take a whole lot of brain power. It was just a lot of creativity.
And you guys, I know you answered this last time. You guys filmed it sort of like in chronological order, and then you went back and did like side
Kind
quests?
of. See, there was the story was solidified, right? It was done. There was something that was, there was a book, there was a ream of things there, right? But I mean, I didn't see anything physical. It was all in an Excel spreadsheet. But the story was done, right? But when we would record things, there would be tiny little, like, oh, this person pronounced the word incorrectly, so we have to go back and do pickups. Or this is now, this gameplay mechanic is now doing this, so now we have to change the dialogue so that it makes sense, Or in this cutscene, we physically can't enter this door or whatever, so we have to make sure that we go around and make it read and make it understandable and make it flow so nobody's pulled out. So I want to let you guys know that there's been a lot of love that has not been paid to be in this game. I would have done this for free, 100%. I would have done this game for free. This isn't a job. This is a passion project, and there's so much love that went into it to make sure that you guys. I was playing it as I was watching it. I'm just like, I don't want that. No, I don't want that. That's bad. Like, I want to make sure this is. I want to make sure that this line is perfect. I want to go back. I had a lot of selfish things. I told Keith Farley, the director, I'm like, hey, I got a selfish little thing. Can I go back and do this like 3 or 4 more times? Can we do another pass of that cutscene because I got a better read in me, that kind of thing. So I really want to make this my magnum opus as well as everybody else's.
I was gonna say, because you spoke a lot about how much this game means to you, and how much Aiden means to you, and how much he fits into your life and what he stands for.
Yeah, this game is I've been in this game for about 1/5 of my life. At this point, a little less than that, but about 1/5 of my life, and it had to be perfect for a lot of reasons. While I was working on the game, back and forth or whatever, a lot of things happened. I moved several places. I moved several times. My setup has changed. I got busier, but I've always had time for Techland. No matter what I would tell the sound designer when we were doing efforts several times, I'd be like, hey man, I used to do sound design. I know what you need. I know that we don't probably have enough time right now to get it. So if you want to bring me back at any time to bring me in and do anything you want, I am your tool. You just need to use me. Like, just call me in, tap me in, do whatever you need. I need to make this perfect as much as you do. So that's not only that, but like a bunch of like personal things happened. My mother passed away. My grandparents on both sides passed away. So there was it was a very grim like 3 years for me, because every time I would fly back home, I'd be putting someone in the ground, and it's like Dying Light was this big escape that I had. I would be able to boot up the game and then just go and wander around for a little bit with my own thoughts, listening to the ambience and the atmosphere, and then just chilling in areas. I would do it with other games too, but I spent an inordinate amount of time playing that on my PC and on my PlayStation 4. And I have a feeling that that's going to happen as well in Dying Light 2. If even to more of an extent. But yeah, it's been a rough few years, but I feel like we're starting to see the sunrise, and I'm starting to come into my own as an actor and a performer, and I really want to impress everybody with what we've done, what Techland has made. and what I helped make.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for sharing that. That
Yeah.
was a lot in there.
Right?
And for like the past week or two, I've been taking a lot of questions from the community.
Yeah.
So I do want to touch on some of those throughout here. This one is what were some of the challenging lines that you had to repeat over and over in order to get the right emotion on Aiden's side and Aiden's character?
There are a few times when, because okay, I can't reveal too much.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Aiden's stakes are way higher than Crane's.
Okay.
And I feel like Crane is a dude doing a job. Crane was a guy on a mission, and he's very lawful good, where it's like, I'm gonna do I'm gonna go by the book. I'm gonna do what I'm told to some extent. He does break the rules several times, but I'm gonna do what I'm told to some extent. I'm gonna be straight and narrow. But Aiden is very chaotic. There is a lot because the world has changed. There is a lot of different paths that Aiden can go down that Crane just didn't feel morally right, or it didn't feel morally acceptable. I feel like Aiden's stakes are way higher, and because of that, I'm not roasting Crane. Like, Crane's great. Crane is awesome. He is a man, fish out of water, a man that has just been placed in extraordinary circumstances, an ordinary man placed in extraordinary circumstances, and he is told to just go, run, boy, run. But Aiden has a lot of emotional investment in this. Crane's was like career investment, and there were stakes, and it was like the stakes were this city, right?
Yeah.
But the stakes in Dying Light 2 are the rest of humanity. Like,
yeah.
this is what we got left, except maybe some people in the Amazon that haven't been contacted. But like, this is like, this is it. This is humanity right now. And not only that, but Aiden has very emotional investment in his sister. Can't say too much about his sister, but Aiden has a very big emotional investment in his sister, and there's a lot of mystery there. So the hard part was giving him levity and making him fun and making it not oppressive to play Aiden, because the stakes are so high, and it's so the world is so depressing and grim, which is one reason I really, really like how bright the world is, because the text and the dialogue is grim, and the contents of the story is dark, and it is really, really, really depressing to some extent. So Aiden's escape is parkour. That's what I played it as. So whenever Aiden is in these really heavy one-on-one cutscenes, he's not parkouring. He's not running. He's not really having too much fun. So Aiden uses parkour as a way to escape the world around him, which is why I really enjoy how bright and colorful the rooftops are, and the contrast between like the ground and how extraordinary a lot of the city is, and it's just a big jungle gym for him. And then when he's done playing, he can sit down and be like, all right, let's listen to the cutscene. All right, it's time to go back out and play. Cool. All right, cool. We're just gonna run to our next place. It's so good. So that's kind of how I played it. That was a big hurdle in Aiden's character and the line deliveries and things like that. Also, like we had to distinguish, like, oh, is Aiden running? Is this during parkour? Is this if it can be okay? We have to record two versions of the line: one where he's not running and one where he's running. So there was a lot of covering our bases for motion. But yeah, it was that was fairly difficult. There are a few cutscenes that I put a lot into. I can't wait for you guys to hear it. But yeah, I put a lot into some of them.
In what way?
There's a lot of but my goal for you when you're watching those cutscenes is to be like, Jesus Christ, Jonah. Like that's what I want you guys to or Jesus Christ, Aiden. That's what I want you guys to feel like. But yeah, they're intense.
I'm sure it gets crazy. The little demo, it didn't have that much craziness.
Not nearly. No, not nearly as crazy as it gets.
That's good. I know you said that one of the big things that you added on to the character was the quips that he does while he's parkouring.
Yeah.
And techland really loved it and rolled with it. And they love the infamous going.
I hope they put more in, because I gave them a lot than just the yeah. But again, this is all in their hands. One thing I did notice though is the demo we played and a lot of the gameplay demo that you guys have seen. They haven't implemented a few of my efforts because the efforts, one, sound and UX are the last things that happen in a video game. Those are the last two things that get implemented. That's just how it is. Two, because you hear efforts so often, I'm a gamer. I know you make fun of like Persona 5. I'll reveal your true form. Like you make fun of the efforts that are repetitive and just annoying to some extent. So we gave them a lot. So now when you hear them, hopefully you will rarely hear a repetitive effort, which is why some of them aren't implemented yet, because they're just not done. They have to be perfect in order for you guys. This is the sound effects you're going to hear the most, that and attack sound effects. So half of them should be or sound like they're Crane, and the other half sound like they're me. That's because they just have to, pick and put and mix and match and everything like that. So also, hopefully they add more than just yeah, because that would get annoying.
I think I heard that like 15 times while playing.
Yeah, but I feel like they had told me, they're like, we're going to record these and we're testing them just to see what people are going to say. And I think the feedback has been pretty good so far. So hopefully we'll get to implement more like that, because I love it. It gives Aiden the one thing that I have heard in response to Aiden as a character was personality. Like, he's got a lot of personality, and it's like, thank you. That's great. That's what I was going for.
Quite the opposite of Kyle Crane in there. Speaking personality wise.
Yeah, but I feel like Crane is a lot of skepticism. So it's a lot of like, I don't fully believe you. Whereas Aiden is like, I could and will kick your ass if you don't tell me what.
Are you able to give away any of the other quips that are in there?
Oh, there's a few where it's just if you think how Aiden would like actively running, it's not like quips when he's ending the parkour. It's quips as he, that meter starts to tick in, it gets a little bit bigger, the music starts to kick in, and there's things like, all right, yeah, let's go, like things like that. It's like, I'm getting better. Like, he's complimenting himself. It's fun. It's really fun.
A question here: does Aiden's voice change because of the choices that you make? For example, if you choose to kill like an innocent enemy, will Aiden's voice change at all, or will it stay the same throughout the playthrough?
The reads are different, that's for sure. Based on what you decide to do, the reads are different. Whether or not there are branching paths to the voice effects, I doubt it. I don't think that's what we went in for. But Aiden will react differently based on what you do. Yeah.
Okay. So in one playthrough, I can make him a selfish dickhead, and that's going to be reflected upon him.
Yeah, but you got to realize, if you're a selfish dickhead, other people are going to think you're selfish. You don't just get away with it, right?
Everybody in the world knows, right?
Yeah, everybody in the world knows, because the world is now this city.
How I'm trying to see how much you can talk about and how much you can't. You're a gamer. Choices and consequence. You know how they are in other games, Telltale games.
Mass Effect 3. Ha 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 ha.
Do they live up to what they've been
I'm happy
saying?
to report they do. Yes, I'm happy to report that they very much do. This hasn't been just a bunch of I had the same skepticism going. And trust me, my roommate is a game developer. Mm-hmm. My roommate is a game developer, and he has been skeptical of this whole fucking process, let me tell you. And I can't wait for the game to come out and have it be really good, and I can be like, dude, look, not Dying Punk 2077, fuck off. Like, but yeah, it was they matter a lot. the story, the entire game will change.
Because since E3, it was always choice and consequence, big thing. E3 2019, choice and consequence, and then every Dying to Know episode, they keep bringing it back to choice and consequence. So they are constantly talking about the importance of it. So
the story changes. There are divergent paths. It's like playing a what is it? It's like playing what is it? Is it Supermassive? Is that who makes those games?
Let me check.
I forget, but the ones that have they're like play like a horror movie. You know what I'm talking about? Like Until Dawn.
Oh, who does that?
I don't think it's Supermassive.
I don't think it's Supermassive.
It is Supermassive. Okay,
Supermassive
but yeah, it's like a Supermassive game. There are I don't know, I can't tell you exactly the different diverging paths, obviously, but there are massive things change. Entire buildings go away. Entire, it's nutty. You get entire new sections of the map. Obviously, you saw with the water zone from E3. There's divergent characters. Some characters you won't even meet. It's pretty crazy.
Do you know if those big massive changes from like the E3 one are still in? Where like
I don't know. Again, I don't know.
Yeah.
If I don't talk about it, I probably don't know. If Aiden doesn't say anything, I probably don't know about it. And again, I've recorded 10,000 lines, so being able to recall exactly what I've recorded, a lot of the stuff starts to blur together. But I do anticipate major changes like that, and I do, based on what I have seen, I do think that that's still in the game.
Okay.
And again, I can't speak ex cathedra as a developer because I am not a developer. I'm just an actor who's a big fan. But yeah, they are massive changes to the game based on what you decide to do.
When you played for the first time, how much is that going to affect you knowing what you know about everything? How are you? How are you
to get the good ending or the perfect ending or whatever?
How are you going to play it? Are you going to play it to get the perfect ending or?
No, see, I know what the choices are, but like the way that we did it, I don't know what order I have to do the choices in order to get that outcome. Okay. You know what I mean? So things could just pop up and it'd be like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I also think that they should do some sort of Twitch integration, which would be super sick, because that would actually have a lot of Twitch streamers playing your game if your Twitch chat can participate and vote on which decisions they have.
You heard about the co-op thing, right? There's in my interview with
co-op votes.
There's like a little UI
that sounds awesome
system that pops up. That's perfect for Twitch integration.
Come on, Timon, and it's not hard. It's not hard. A lot of people have been doing that. I don't know. It might not be. It might be very difficult to do. Who knows? But let me grab my inhaler, guys. That's right. Aiden's got asthma. Oh, that's the good shit. Okay.
So I know you told me this one, and your use of props and the inhaler reminded me of it. I know you were using your pull-up bar to go and do like parkour sound effects. People that are new to this live stream today, can you tell that story again? And if there's any other props that you did use, maybe it's like your inhaler or something.
When I was back not 100% Aiden yet, I was really trying to impress the producers and everybody who was on call and show them how dedicated I was and show them that I was like, I want to do this. This is what I want to do with my life. So when I was recording efforts and things you don't really notice unless you just like breathe and take a second in the game, right? So if somebody comes in with pizza rolls, awesome. So you put the controller down and Aiden is there hanging on a wall, right? He's just there hanging on a wall. And you hear him slowly start to lose stamina. So he's like, like that kind of shit. I would grab onto this bar I had in my closet right there. There's a wooden bar that goes all the way through my closet that I use as a pull-up bar. And I would grab onto the pull-up bar, put the microphone right in front of me, and I would actually grab onto it. The day after I had my effort session, I had sore muscles. Like my shoulders were killing me. I would actually hang on to these things, and I tried to put as much into it as possible. I was sweating my ass off. I had to take my t-shirt off. I turned my camera on in the booth so that Mikau could see what I was doing and see that I was doing it. And he'd be like, wow, this guy's really dedicated. And then maybe that would go up the chain and maybe I would actually get to play Aiden. So I again, this isn't just a job. This is something that I know Techland supports their games too. So it's like, I know this isn't going to be like, oh, I'm working for 4 months and then I'm done, right? I'm going to be working for 4 months and then there's the big possibility of DLC. There's the big possibility of like multiplayer expansions. There's a big possibility of other like things that Aiden might be in. So I really wanted to immerse myself. Mm-hmm. It's for you guys. It's for your immersion, chat.
Were there any other big prop stories like the pull-up bar ones that you can think of?
Well, when I was in the actual booth, okay, so Aiden runs a lot, if you guys didn't know. And I run too. I'm a runner. I have to use my inhaler because my asthma is exercise induced. So when I was actually doing like running efforts for the game, hold on. I was doing running efforts for the game, and it's not just like, again, you guys as gamers, you hear this, but I don't think you realize the stakes that we put on the characters, right? When you listen to Crane running at night, the dude sounds fucking terrified. He is scared shitless. And I wanted to try and put that in the game too, right? So when you're running, it's not just like, it's it's that kind of shit, right? And that's a lot of air, and that's a lot of like vocalizations and things like that, and you start to lose your breath and you start to get lightheaded if you do that for too long. And there were 2 times when I almost passed out in the booth. And one, I can't tell you when exactly in the game they happen, but like Aiden's running and he's almost gonna die. Like it's that intense, right? And at the end of that, I stood there and I went to one side for a second, and Keith's like, "Hey, you all right?" And it's like, guys, this has never happened to me before acting at all, but I almost passed out. I saw the blackness start to creep in, and then I took a deep breath and I'm back. And I was just like, okay, thank God that was the last take, you know? But almost twice I passed out recording this game just because of the amount of effort that is required.
Was the second time the same scene?
Second time was a different scene. Same stakes, different scene. Okay. It's a lot of being terrified and like at the same time realizing that whatever's behind me, I could kick its ass, but I don't know. There was a lot of the word that I like to throw out with all this stuff with like voicing protagonists. Like Nolan North has a really good interview. As much as I am not like Nolan North because the guy did fucking like soap operas and like, you know, teen dramas when he was a kid. Yeah, he was
really?
Yeah, he's a TV guy. He was on Dawson's Creek, I think. He was like a TV dude at first. So I have nothing really in common with Nolan North. I don't think he ever did stage. But he has a really good interview about being a protagonist. And the thing that he had said was, nobody will believe your protagonist if they don't get hurt. And that was like so true. And I spent a while workshopping this like this thing I like to call dynamic pragmatism that is inherent in a lot of modern protagonists, modern single player protagonists. Dynamic pragmatism, which means that regardless of what happens, regardless of what situation you're going to be in, you'll try and find a way out of it, and you will probably find a way out of it. And that makes the player feel great when they figure that out. So I wanted to have this sense of dynamic pragmatism in Aiden, where it was like, okay, shit hit the fan, but I'm going to take a deep breath and figure this out and calmly figure a way out. Because no matter what happens to Aiden, he's the hero, and he can't really die unless you suck. So like I wanted to make the player feel as strong as possible. I know when the hero moments are going to happen. And I know as a player watching the cutscenes and things like that, it's like, oh my God, I'm going to feel like a boss doing this. Or like whenever I would record efforts, it's like, oh my God, I want this player to feel like, yeah, that's right. I feel like a fucking badass swinging this thing because the effort made me sound like I was, you know, lifting a 2-ton boulder or something like that. So it's a lot of making the player feel strong, making the player feel like a hero, making the person play feel like they are Aiden. Much like how I do feel like this game has a lot, and you probably can agree with me with the whole parkour system and how movement works. It has a lot in common with Spider-Man PS4. Because it has a lot in common. The movement system has a lot in common with that. It just feels really good. There are a few things even down to the moves that I'm like, that feels like it was. I feel like that's a skill tree and a skill tree perk, and even the combat to some extent just feels like first person like Spider-Man combat, where there's some quick time stuff, there's some prompt stuff, but you can like, you know, basic combos and things like that. But yeah, I just really wanted to make the player feel heroic and strong and the kick ass, you know.
Well, out of the 3 to 4 hours that I played from it, you definitely delivered on that part. Holy shit. Did great with it.
Well, thank you.
I see the
We
same...
have yet. Oh, wait. I gotta read this chat comment just to make sure they feel heard. We have yet to see a AAA dev deliver on the promises they've made this generation. Delaying as much as they have suggests this will be the first. You're goddamn right. You're goddamn right. My God. With the whole recent, there's like Battlefield 2042 shit. I've been so disappointed. But I know the best part is I know this game's gonna be good. Like I know this coming out is gonna work and it's gonna function, and that's like such a low bar. But techland hit it.
Yeah, February 4th. Big month for gaming. February, there's a lot coming out.
But what I noticed is Horizon Zero Dawn isn't coming out in February anymore. So that whole month has been freed up. No, it got moved up.
Oh, it got moved up. Interesting.
They're gonna do it earlier, yeah.
Because I know they have Dying Light 2, Elden Ring is slated.
Elden Ring's gonna be pretty big.
Oh, Oni, read my super chat from earlier.
When does Endwalker, Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker, when does that come out? People are pretty hype on that. I think that's February something. Did you meet Rosario Dawson? I want to say this right now. Rosario Dawson is a celebrity. She doesn't even know who I am. Okay, she doesn't know I exist. She got to hear my lines,
and that's it.
Yeah, she got to hear my lines, but she does not care about me. She has no idea who I am. We didn't go out for tea or drinks or anything like that. No, she's a celebrity, dude.
Anthony in a super chat, he said, "Me and Jonah are the same age, and the game comes out on my birthday." That's a Destiny monk right there. Friend.
Nice.
So yeah, you when you started doing your lines and your efforts, you had nothing to work with other voices.
I had the robot, and I don't know if any
is it like a Google Translate fucking.
Yeah, they had all of the motion capture done, right, and they thought it would be easier for me to listen to the. They had Google translated all of the lines that they had just translated. Again, these are translations. They have not been adapted into English so that it sounds like somebody talking. It's just translations. So they put the translation into this text-to-speech robot, and the text-to-speech robot would talk out of the motion-captured mouth. So I would be literally acting against a robot. And that's a turn of phrase in acting where you say like, "Oh, I'm acting against a fucking robot," but like. I was literally acting against a robot, and I didn't have anybody else to act against. Sometimes I did if they would record it in Britain or whatever, but like I was the guy that was like laying the groundwork for most of everybody like reactions, which makes sense because I'm the guy that everybody's talking to. But yeah, it was a lot of wireframe T-posing models for a while. It was a lot of like there was a lot of like really early phase like alpha lighting, and I got to see cutscenes themselves change as well. I got to see what's really cool is that there are major quest lines and things like that have been obviously quest lines have been changed and things like that, but there are major quest lines that have stayed in the game the entire development cycle. So I got to see those change in like iteration, and the characters got to come in and the characters change names and move around, and I got to see that storyline stay the same through everything, and they were just kind of like changing the set dressing around it all. And it's funny how I got to see that stuff in like a traditional script format, like a Celtics like traditional script format, and then that moved to the Excel spreadsheet, and then I got to see the actually finished cutscene, and it's like it blew my mind because in film, when you're filming something, you get to film it, and then you get to go back into the producer tent and look at it and see like all the cool things that you did, and that is how it all gets made right there, right? But with a game, it's made in pieces and it's put together like a jigsaw puzzle. And you know, if this piece isn't done yet, well, you just don't get to see that piece. But yeah, it was a lot of work in progress stuff that I really enjoyed working with because it's so cool to see that stuff. It's so cool to see the sausage get made. And then and people were like, "Oh, this looks so good." I got to see ray tracing like. As it was being implemented, I got to see ray traced footage as it was being implemented, and that blew my mind because I got to be like, "Oh, my 3090 is gonna crush this fucking thing. It's gonna be so good."
How does it look? Because I know everybody that played did no ray tracing on.
The thing that I noticed the most is subsurface scattering in the skin, because as I was playing in the demo, I looked at it and I'm like, some of these models look a little rubbery, but going back to footage that I have access to in my Google Drive, I looked at the 4K ray trace footage and I'm like, oh, I'm not worried at all. I'm not worried at all. The subsurface scattering makes the skin look real, and then that helps the animations. So yeah, it's
gonna be a different game with the.
It's gonna be a different game with RTX
4K,
on. Yeah,
that's great. And you're only voice lines, no motion capture.
No, I did no motion capture. They did scan my face, but that's about it. They took my headshots and pictures that they got from Dying to Know, and were able to take like, stills and put it onto Aiden.
Was it mostly David Bell that did a lot of the parkour
David
stuff?
Bell did a lot of the parkour motion capture, and he was like a supervisor on a lot of it too. So he was the guy. The David Bell invented parkour for the most part, invented the current, modern school of parkour. So having him have his red stamp on this is like that's as good as you can get. Like, you have the French parkour master giving you the red stamp on your parkour video game. You can't get any better than that. That's as good as it gets. Like, for parkour at least.
He's got a massive role in the project, huh?
He does. He's the face claim for Hackon.
Oh yeah, I knew that part. But
yeah.
I just didn't know like the whole parkour animation.
But yeah. He definitely
and
he helped in Dying Light 1 too. He's been on this project for a very long time, and they tap him in for everything. If you've seen some of the behind the scenes footage, he was doing mat work and like flips and shit, and he had the balls on him and everything like that. It was he had a big role in this.
If they asked you, would you have thrown on the mocap suit to go and do some stuff?
Oh, in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat, I would have. Easy. But like, I'm mocapping my hands or whatever most of the time.
Have you ever done anything like that?
Parkour?
No. I guess parkour and the motion capture.
I have done motion capture classes. I'm only 28, and I would like to do like motion capture as like my main thing. Like, I want to do motion capture and performance capture. Obviously I would do like video games and stuff with that, and I would like to do anime on the side. But yeah, I've done some, and it's been so much fun. I've done performance capture with the camera here and the mic here, and then you have it on your head, and then you don't necessarily have the balls everywhere. You can wear your normal clothes, but they're usually tighter clothes, and they just film you, and so they like have references and things like that they can take away. So it's not full motion capture, but yeah, I've done that, and I'd like to learn how to do it even more and participate in more projects like that.
Yeah. Chat had a question here. Was there anything you did before getting into the booth that would help you get into the character for Aiden?
Yeah, when I would drive down to the studio, I would listen to the Beastie Boys, and I would rap along with the Beastie Boys and like Sum 41 and like West Coast rap, because I feel like a lot of the things that I do when I'm driving, especially to work, is I try and listen to music that I think the character would listen to. It's kind of silly, but I feel like I would listen to music the character would listen to in my head, just because it gets me more into that, rebel bad boy kind of zone where it's like, fuck you, mom, I'm not going to church, like that kind of shit. So yeah, I would totally use that to get into character. I would also try and warm my voice up a little bit, and the rapping helped. It was a fairly long drive.
Is Aiden gonna be a rapper in game?
You fucking wish. You guys do not want to hear Aiden rapping. It would be cringe and gross, and the boy has no rhythm. It's gonna be bad. But personally, yes, I am a Beastie Boys fan. I like all the music that I pick.
When you were for the Dying to Know episodes, was that like, were you always planned to go on and come on and be one of the hosts, or is that just like, how did that
was out? Sherry, right? Yeah, that was his idea. I had told Sherry and the PR manager at Techland, what I've been telling you guys in chat. I want this game to be really good, and I want to be involved in as much of the process as possible. You say the word and tell me what you want from me, and I will do it. And Sherry came back like a month later with the whole, you want to do this Dying to Know thing? We're going to do this thing like, Night City Wire. We're going to do something like that, but for Dying Light, instead of doing like trade shows. And I'm like, okay, that sounds fucking awesome. Let me in. And the first filming, we were still ironing out kinks and everything. So like flights were all over the place, and we had to figure out what exactly we were doing, because Leah is from Britain, right? So she only had to fly like an hour and a half to get to Poland. I had to fly like 19 hours to get there. So it was a while, but it's some of the most fun I've ever had. The set is fucking awesome.
The set is beautiful. Is there 2 sets? I think
there are 2 sets. There's one that's like the big sound stage, and then there's the other one that's like the really intimate one at Techland's office, which I got to go to Techland's office. I got to slide down the slide. I got to see their break room. I got to putt in their putt course. They have all kinds of cool shit there, and I got the devs to sign my hat, so that's gonna be worth a lot of money when the game's out.
Throw that right up on the eBay.
Yeah, I'm keeping it under glass, dude. It's actual Dying Light.
If you want to
help us, can you please set up a small shop near your house and sell some Dying Light 2 copies? Hey, I got a better idea. Look, how about this? I am going to personally give away PlayStation 5s when the game comes out. I am going to purchase several. Don't know how many I'm going to be able to get my hands on, but I'm going to purchase several PlayStation 5s. You're
going to have to start
as
now.
I'm streaming. I am. I have already gotten. I've gotten several people who have already put their names on lists for me. So I'm going to buy PlayStation 5s, and I'm going to give away PlayStation 5s when I play Dying Light 2 as I'm streaming. Dying Light, what you can do is get me copies of Dying Light to give away with the PlayStations. I'll pay for the PlayStations. You guys just got to give me the copies of Dying Light to give away.
And also Twitch integration.
And Twitch integration. Oh my God. Guys, you don't know how big the game will be on Twitch if you do choice Twitch integration. If you make it so that people watching in chat can help choose choices, like maybe pad the choice by like 15 seconds, and then like give chat an opportunity to vote as well, you will get every Twitch streamer playing this fucking game. Every single one will be playing this game. You remember how Hyperscape was super popular for like 2 weeks? That's why. Anyway, I'm done being a game developer. Please don't, please Twitch integration, please.
Hyperscape, is that the battle royale? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly. It was super popular because Twitch could have Twitch integration.
That's great. Hopefully they're listening. Unsee, please listen.
You want to do the Aiden voice? This is it. This is literally it.
Do the Aiden Batman voice.
You don't want that. You don't want to hear that. It was bad. You can go back and listen to it, and that was Batman voice. I also had coffee, so my voice is like tight, and I can't like give you an accurate representation.
Question here: how satisfied are you with your acting performance in Dying Light 2? Is there anything that you would go back and change?
Oh fuck yeah! Don't let me do that. Don't let any actor do that. don't let any actor go back and do finishing touches, because the game will never be fucking done. Yeah, there are several things that I would like to go back and do, and there are things when I was playing the demo, I'm just like, they chose that one, or like I could have done another read. Like, let me go back in my booth right now, and I'll record a better one, and I'll send it to you. Like, yeah, I'm my own worst critic. I think that I did a pretty good job. I don't know, because I haven't played the game all the way through, and some of my best acting has yet to be seen by y'all, and some of the best acting from the other actors has yet to be seen by y'all, because I want to also point out this is something that I really, really want to hammer home to a lot of people. I'm not the only Aiden. There is the English Aiden, there is the Polish Aiden, there is the German Aiden, there is the Italian Aiden, there is the Spanish Aiden, there are Aidens everywhere. So shout out to all of the other Aidens out there in every single language, because the Polish Aiden was technically the original Aiden. He's technically the one that I was like, basing things off of. Granted, Aiden did grow up a lot with me, because the English Western Aiden is the one that most people are going to be playing, but there are myriad language options out there, and English is just one of them. So, oops, all Aidens.
I never even thought about that there's so many other different versions of Aiden out there.
Aidenverse?
The Aidenverse. Have you talked to any of them? Know any of them?
No, but when the game comes out, I'm going to do a big post on Twitter shouting them out because I feel like a lot of people don't talk about it as much. There's going to be Spanish Rosario Dawson. There's going to be Italian Rosario Dawson. Like,
there's another one here. Who's your favorite character excluding Aiden?
Lawan's pretty cool. And Aiden and Lawan have a lot of good moments.
They do.
But I think Sophie is best girl. There are a few other, well, there's a lot of other characters you guys haven't seen. I want to say there's like 2 or 3 dozen characters that you guys just haven't seen yet that I really, really love. Another one that actually was seen, but not a whole lot of people talk to them was Dodger. He's really cool. I like Dodger.
He's got a great voice.
He's got a great voice.
We were looking at gameplay during the one stream, and you pointed out,
yeah,
that's him right there. That's Dodger.
Every time. And Frank's voice is just so fucking good when he's not, being Frank. But
did you talk about Frank? They're gonna shut us down. They're coming.
They're gonna kill me. They're coming. Techland, FBI, open up.
The Techland snipers are watching.
The Techland snipers are watching.
You touched upon this one a little bit, but I thought it was a really good question. And it's, what's your opinion on the Dying Light 2 story, considering Techland has never really focused on their writing? How can we know that this time it won't be different?
They have the story writer at Techland. He's a great guy. But the guy that I worked with the most was a writer named David Bergantino. I'm gonna say his name. The writer that I worked with is David Bergantino, who is a popular horror script writer, like screenplay writer. He's written several horror novels. Really good at what he does. Really good ear for story structure and story beats. And he's just a fun dude to work with. We were able to bounce a whole lot of ideas off of each other. We were able to throw in references. He is a big fan of Dead Island 2, so we were able to pepper a bunch of references and things like that in there. The combination, like, I can't say too much about story beats or anything like specific, but the story is leagues stronger in this because of the characters. Now, do I think it's going to win massive awards and it's going to be the subject of universal story change in narrative media? No, it's not. It's not gonna be a monumental shift in video gaming because of the story in Dying Light 2. The choices, those are revolutionary. That's different. That's something I've never seen before. But like I do believe in the strength of the story, and I do believe that it is not because I do believe that it is because of the characters and the people playing them. It may seem a little on the surface because the animation sometimes it's a little hard to get super, like, obviously it's not going to be the Last of Us 2. Let's hammer this home, huh? Please don't go in expecting like the narrative the narrative complexity of and the technical design of something like The Last of Us 2, because this game is a localization, right? Because this game is Polish language first, there's a lot of things that have to be translated. The Last of Us was English through the entire fucking project. English all the way. There were people, obviously, who spoke different languages who worked on it, but it was produced entirely in English. So they had a lot of advantages, like being able to do complete motion capture in English in its entirety, being able to do complete performance capture in English in its entirety. And we had to do a lot of localization. There was motion capture that we had to make fit to English and things like that. So we had a lot of other challenges that people that worked on a game like The Last of Us, which is essentially a movie that you can play, it's different. There's way more gameplay in Dying Light 2 than there is The Last of Us 2. Way more gameplay. Like 50 times more gameplay. But yeah, that said, the story is very engaging. You're going to like it. You're going to enjoy yourself. You're going to shit your pants. You're going to be like, holy shit, that's not what I thought was going to happen. Like, oh my God, there's going to be moments like that. But you don't get to choose that shit in Dying Light or in The Last of Us 2, do you? No, you don't. So it's
very linear path in The Last of Us. You don't have much to work.
You don't have any choices.
Let's see. Chad had a bunch of good questions too that I want to hammer in. So you've seen the game progress over time from very early development to where it's at now. Was there something like what was the weirdest mechanic they had in the game in like the early development that was taken out? Like anything that struck out to you that is no longer in the game right now?
Weirdest mechanic. I think they kept all the mechanics. Like for the most part, I can't think of one that they took out. They haven't been lying. It sounds like everything is still in the game. There were some story things that changed, but like they weren't very major.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give this away. There's some good story bits. I will say when the game comes out, I will have a lot to talk about because there are some things that change. There are story bits that even I was like, whoa, okay, all right. Do you want to take that? Okay, good. You took that out. All right. It was kind of weird anyway. So there are some story bits that I could talk about when the game comes out that definitely changed, but mechanically, they're giving you what they're selling you, man. They're not pulling the wool over your eyes here.
Just the story, does it just like drop you right in and then it's just full speed, or is it like a nice slow?
How do you think a game about running away from zombies via parkour starts?
Going right into it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oni asked about the grappling hook. I don't know. He most likely can't answer anything about the grappling hook.
I have only seen the grappling hook footage that you have seen, maybe a little bit more because I had to do like efforts and things timed to the grappling hook, but that's pretty much it. Didn't see too much. Okay. I've seen what you guys have seen.
How hard was it to make the scared sound when Aiden is running away from vials or volatiles during the night? That panic sound that you have going for you.
Roger was a big inspiration there. I feel like whoever directed the game when Warner Brothers was producing it, because okay, let's talk about game production for a bit. I'm sure you guys enjoy this shit. Game post-production. So when a game gets made, there is the developer and then there's the publisher. And the publisher is usually in charge of, they have some, because they're giving money, they have some say in what the game does and like what the gameplay is, but it's more how they get the game to people. Like they're in charge of localization. So they're in charge of what I would normally be doing. So they're in charge of casting the game. And what for Dying Light 1, Warner Brothers was in charge of all of that. So Warner Brothers would hire Roger Craig Smith and everybody and bring them in. They would go to Warner Brothers studio down the street in Burbank. They would record there on a soundstage. And then this was a completely different studio and a completely different, setup. So they didn't have all of that. They were able, what they did with Dying Light that I really enjoyed in the voice direction was they made it feel very filmic and very cinematic, and it felt like a horror movie. And they really leaned into that horror, and I feel like that's a lot of the direction for Roger. So yeah, it was I kind of stole that, if you want to say stole it. I kind of stole that from Roger. I played the game so much that I know exactly what that sounds like. So I did my own version because when I'm playing games, this is the voice actor curse, but when I'm playing video games, I mock everyone. Especially when I was doing semi-pro League of Legends and I was on comms, I would mock Ezreal all the fucking time. I would mock Jace all the fucking time when I was playing it and just, repeat everything. But yeah, it was a lot of, I guess kind of doing what Roger did, but like putting my own spin on it and being in the moment and obviously acting. That helps a lot instead of just copying people. But it's a lot of acting. It's a lot of actually feeling like you're being chased by zombies, but like, having fun at the same time, trying to have fun.
Did you take a whole lot of inspiration from Craig's character?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was my inspirations for Aiden Aiden is a mix between Nathan Drake, Kyle Crane, and Jack Cooper from Titanfall, who's voiced by Matthew Mercer, and Nightwing. who's voiced by Troy Baker in some things, but also many other people. So he's just an amalgamation of each, and you'll see when you play that come through for a lot, because he's got the heart. He's got a heart like Nathan Drake. He's got the stick-to-itiveness, I guess, of Kyle Crane. He's got the pragmatism of Jack Cooper and like the sense of duty.
Did you see what Timon had to say about both your characters? With Aiden and Kyle Crane.
When was this? No, was this in the interview where he said they're both cocky? Yeah, that's another thing. But that's like across the board for these like younger hero types. Mm-hmm. They have an arrogant streak, I guess, or like a cocky streak. But I feel like I kind of tempered that a little bit. With Aiden, it's a lot of people. I feel like a lot of the time, people are asking Aiden to do way too much, and that comes through on some of his dialogue, where it's just like, okay, just give me one hot fucking second to deal with the first thing, and then I'll go deal with the second thing, and then I'll save your asses, because that's I mean, you guys can't really do too much yourselves, and it's like Aiden it's more frustration in some of these parts, which is another thing that I want, because like as Aiden, you are an extension of the player, right? So I want the player's feelings to leak into Aiden. And as I was doing this, I'm like, if I was playing this and I was getting all these objectives at the same time, I would be a little bit frustrated. And I'm sure Aiden is just as frustrated. And I mean, that's the intention of the quest. That's how it's supposed to supposed to feel. But yeah, it was I want you guys to feel. I want Aiden to feel how you guys feel sometimes, because as somebody who plays games, whenever the character is like, it's exactly how I want to feel. Like, no, of course that's not how I would react in that situation. I wouldn't be okay with this. Like, yeah, it's great.
What was the most difficult thing you had to do with the voice, if you can talk about it?
There are some screams that were pretty gnarly that I had to do several times. But Keith was very good about saving my voice. And if we needed to just move on and then go back again and do it, that would be fine. It's a lot of efforts there, especially in some of the cutscenes. There's a lot of really raw, crazy shit that I don't do in my normal day-to-day life. So it was a lot of it was very cathartic to perform, but it was a lot of energy and a lot of effort. Sometimes I would need like 30 seconds or so in between takes, just because of the amount of emotion and energy that I would put into it. But yeah, there were some things that were pretty hard to do, but most of it was a lot of dialogue, speaking, and interacting with characters, maybe mostly robots.
I would say, what was the one scream? Oh, when Aiden gets his biomarker for the first time.
Oh yeah, that's nothing.
I was gonna say, how did the other screams compare to that one?
that was pretty hard, but it gets even more raw as shit goes on. Because Aiden's kind of sick.
Let's see. I'm trying to catch up with chat. Chat, of course, if you guys have questions. Oh, my voice is 3 times lower. Let me turn it up.
I think he meant in like octaves.
Oh.
I don't know.
Well, I turned mine up anyways.
I don't have the stream sound on.
Let's see. Was there, if you can talk about it, any like favorable side quest that you had that stuck out to you that you think the community will enjoy very much in Dying Light 2?
Community.
Like, the Gazi one. Is there anything?
I do. Mm-hmm. Goats. Get your goat gifts ready. Your goats are going to be huge. Get your goat gifts. Get your goat memes. Get them ready. If you want to be doing numbers on Twitter, get your goat memes ready. All right.
You're just gonna leave it at that.
That's all I'm gonna say. Goats.
We got goats and we got dogs.
We got goats and we got dogs.
Yeah, you hyped up you can pet a dog, and then we saw no footage of this dog being pet.
Just gotta wait, you just gotta wait. I can't go back and get footage.
Sure you can. Just sneak back in. Let's see, what else? I do have a lot of questions about um, your thoughts about your whole experience with the preview event and everything, and
That
how
was a dream come true. That was
that's
something I've
gonna
wanted to
affect
do for a long time.
you. One here is, what are your personal critiques about the game in its current state?
I would like as much optimization, or sorry, as much accessibility as they can have. I was going back again, as much as we shit on The Last of Us 2. I was
Yeah.
going back to The Last of Us 2's optimization and their accessibility, and it's crazy. It's almost like playing Counter-Strike or something. Like the more accessibility they have, the more people will play their game. That is just a fact. And I don't think, I'm not a game developer, and I'm not person who is skilled in UX or anything like that, but I don't think that's too difficult to do. You know, finding UI, making a few sliders, you know, doing a few number input fields for opacity, you know, just random shit, you know. Do I want to have, you know, alerts or whatever? As much as you can optimize and make accessible the game for people, that would be fantastic. And you're already doing it by making it available on pretty much everything. So that's a start. Why not just make it so that you can move some things around? That would be great. Let me turn off health bars. Let me get a grayscale HUD. Let me get a minimalist health bar and a minimalist stamina bar, and we're Gucci, you know, with ray tracing on, immersion fulfilled.
The big thing is accessibility. Not only does it really benefit both gamers that have visual and also like physical disabilities, but it helps everyone. And that's the thing that I keep trying to hammer out to everybody, that accessibility is great. And as much as we shit on The Last of Us and we bring it up, The Last of Us really is what the standard should be with accessibility in gaming. Like for me and you, having the ability to change the size of subtitles, that might not make a big difference to us, but for someone else, that makes a massive difference to them. I think there was one time I wanted to see if Dying Light had a colorblind mode for someone, and there's like Reddit posts and forums and people asking like there should be a colorblind mode, and like it really goes a long way.
Yeah, and that's I mean, that's relatively easy to do. I think that's just like a palette switch or something like that. I don't know. I'm not a dev.
I know nothing about game development.
But it seems like since UX is the last thing you do, it's not very hard or resource demanding. Other than that, I guess there was a really weird video of this dude who had like turned the parkour speed up to like 0.25% or something like that, and was like, I fixed the parkour, it's faster. And I'm like, I mean, it looks like it's faster, but I don't know. People are trying to make their own. It's like, see, I did it. It's easy. I fixed the parkour by just turning the speed up. It's easy. That's all the developer has to do. Really? No, that's not how it works. Like, let them work on it, and I'm sure by the time the game comes out, it'll be fine. Don't harp on it, and don't try and fix it yourself, because you can't. I think it's funny that you're trying, and I do think it's endearing. But you can't.
Zombie Infected Gaming, thank you so much for the 99 super chat. I appreciate it. The thing with the parkour is that I see that's the big topic right now, aside from health bars and HUDs. Is that the world is built on
built on the parkour.
It's built on the parkour, and some of the jumps that you can make right now are able to happen because of the parkour. And it floatiness right now, or the quote unquote floatiness.
What I do think people didn't see as much is, again, we were very low level, and the one thing that really helped, and somebody noticed this in my gameplay that I posted some gameplay with the dog thing, right? There was some gameplay in that pet the dog thing, and one of the last things is Aiden using the far jump, and everyone was like, what the fuck is that jump at the end? Holy shit, that makes everything feel so much better. What is that? Did you do something? And I'm like, no, that's a fucking skill, guys. Like, wait for the game to come out and play the damn game. Like, I told you, it's there are so many skills that make parkour feel so much better. And they kind of like put the quality of life for parkour behind you getting better, which makes sense. 'Cause you want to feel like you're, again, with the whole PS4 Spider-Man thing, you don't get the point push-off ability, which is what I liken the far jump to. When you like hit the far jump, or when you parkour over something and then you hit a tooltip at the right time, it'll give you a far jump and you'll jump like 3 times as far.
You go far.
You go really far. And in Spider-Man PS4, you can jump off of a point, but if you do there's the exact same, like there's the exact same prompt. And if you press the prompt at the right time, you push off and you go like 400 yards in one direction. I liken it to that. And that made traversal feel so much better and so much more reliable. Bro, answer chat questions. Shake my head.
I'm trying to weed through the meme questions in here.
Right? Don't ask meme questions.
I'm getting is Kyle Crane in Dying Light 2. Come on, he's not gonna know that.
Have you seen gameplay on PS5? Yes.
What do you think about Bill from Beastars?
He's a tiger. So I think KG does a good job.
How
my full gameplay video is not out yet, Lasha. I'm waiting on Techland to give me the thumbs up. We have it done and edited, but it's not going to have much more than you guys have already seen.
What was your experience with the composer? Not much, right?
Oh, I did not get to meet him. I do not know him, but I knew him from gaming. I played Plague Tale: Innocence, which was one of my favorite games in the last few years. And he did the soundtrack to that, and it is one of the best game soundtracks I have ever heard. And then I went and listened to his other work. He did the score for Streets of Rage 4, which you'd think, listening to his music for Dying Light and Plague Tale, you're like, he's did Streets of Rage? But I went and listened to it, and it fucking slaps. It is so good. If I realized, I'm like, when I was playing Dying Light, I'm like, there's a lot of synth and there's a lot of like electronic sounds in the Dying Light 2 score. And as somebody who listened to a lot of his work on A Plague Tale, which is very, very heavy on string instruments and very low brass, there was no tech in there at all. So I was listening to that, and then I listened to his Streets of Rage 4 soundtrack, and oh my god, I know where he gets the tech stuff from. Sounds great.
He does a really good job at like paying homage to the original, and then also adding a whole new twist.
A very good way to put it.
The like we've said, the music and how it slowly builds up as you're parkouring. It's great.
Were you able to speak about base PS4 gameplay? Yeah, I played for about an hour. And I'm going to echo what everybody else has said, is that it runs how you think it would run. It runs how you think a next-gen game would run on a previous-gen console. So it's not going to be as...
PS4 Pro.
Yeah, PS4 Pro, even. It's probably not going to be as smooth as the PS5. Obviously, it's not going to be as smooth as your Beast PC. But it is playable, it's serviceable, and it's locked at an FPS, so you know it ain't going to get any shittier.
Yeah, the one big thing is the city. That's the one thing we don't know.
I haven't. I didn't see any city gameplay.
I don't know about the city.
It's locked in Old Villador.
Ash Jonah.
Oh, baby zombie question. My working theory, okay? My working theory is that all zombie babies that were turned zombies when they were babies grew up into howlers. Because that just makes sense from like a game mechanic perspective. Because
that's a good way to look at it.
The howlers don't look relatively old like all the other infected. They look like they've been there for years. But
wait, really?
The other, like the howler themselves, is relatively young, and it has the same abilities as the shrieky baby. So, shrug. Who knows?
Oh yeah, I can see that right here.
That's just my working theory.
That's a good theory. I applaud that theory. Watch, it's gonna be. I think the pup is getting. Yeah, she's underneath. I don't know if you can hear her whining throughout.
Aww. She cute. Do you live by yourself?
I do. Yeah. She's in a
cute.
She's in a nice little sweater right now because it's cold outside.
Puppy sweater.
But she's underneath the bed, so.
Aussie shot all the zombie babies. It's how you speedrun faster.
I know a lot
I've
of
seen
you.
the same question a lot, and it was surprising. Does Aiden ever get romantic with anybody? No.
They've confirmed that.
He's not that kind of
They've
guy.
confirmed that it's not happening.
Yeah, that's not a thing, unfortunately. He doesn't get romantic with anybody. Aiden is not a romantic guy.
Let us see the dog. I'm not gonna crawl under my bed to get her out.
I can just drop kick howlers. Dogs are cute. I love myself a good dog. I can't have a dog in my apartment. I'm gonna get a dog soon.
What kind of dog? Do you know?
I don't know. Probably like an Australian Shepherd or something. That'd be cool.
Do you live alone?
No, I have 2 other roommates.
Oh.
and I still pay $1,500 a month.
Huh!
Yeah, it's
California.
living in LA is not cheap. I am living just above the poverty line.
Oh my god.
All right, I'm gonna go pee quick. Hold on.
Okay. Chat, you guys have any questions? How's it going? Oni got a dog cam. She's underneath the bed right now. Hold on, let me try to get her out. Let me try to like pull her away. Sammy, come here. Sam, come here. Let's go. Sammy, come on. Yeah, no, she's not coming out. She's not coming out, guys. All right. What questions you guys got? I know there's a stream delay right now. That's my bad. I set it on the wrong one. I should have set it on low latency. I put it on normal. You can blame freaking.
Do you love
YouTube
me?
for that.
I do love you.
Is he working on the DLCs? You,
not at the moment. Like not right now.
You don't even know if you are.
That's true. I don't even know if I am or when I am. They could be DLCs around a different character. I don't know anything about DLCs.
I also gathered up a bunch of fun little requests that the community wanted.
Oh yeah,
and little things. So these are the fun questions here. What kind of hobbies would Aiden have? What is something that Aiden would do in his free time?
I feel like
I guess
probably
if there's anything in Dying
parkour.
Light, and then anything outside of it.
He probably practiced parkour. He would. I don't know. Let's see. He likes to fuck with people, so I feel like Aiden would be a big prankster. I feel like that's something he just likes to do is like lay traps and things like that for people.
So you can have a
like
pranking YouTube
like
channel?
the water bucket on the door or shit like that. That's very Aiden.
He'll have a pranking YouTube channel.
Yeah, Aiden's got a prank channel. Uh-oh.
Gone wrong. Another one. If you took Aiden and dropped him into any movie or video game, what world do you think he would fit into the most?
Let's see.
Let's do movie first.
A movie?
Movie
I don't want to say zombie movie though.
first. Someone said A Quiet Place. That's a good one.
Quiet Place is good. I guess I could just default to a zombie movie. Zombieland?
Okay.
I don't want to do anything too serious. Zombieland is fun. And then you said a TV show?
Video game.
Video game. I don't want Days Gone. It would be awful because there's nothing in Days Gone but like wilderness and like big open plains and shit. So he would have a hard time parkouring unless he's like Naruto and like parkouring on the trees and shit.
Zombie Gaming. Thank you for the $3 donation. Rick Grimes and Daryl Dixon versus Kyle Crane and Aiden Caldwell.
Ooh, I'd pay to see that fight. I'd pay to see that fight.
Who would win?
I don't know.
Kyle and Aiden would be freaking zooming around.
Kyle isn't Kyle Crane like a CIA operative?
Yeah,
like doesn't he
that's
have
true.
like combat training and shit?
Oh, I Am Legend. Oh, okay. This is a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah, because there's a city there and everything too.
How much about this do you know? Because I know it's in an article from a while ago. I don't know if it was David Bergantino that said it.
Oh, are
But
you talking about the inspirations?
the
For the story?
inspiration
Yeah.
for the story, it was I Am Legend.
There's I Am Legend, Fallout New Vegas. This didn't have anything to do with Chris Avallone. Fallout New Vegas was an inspiration for the story because of the choices. Let's see. There is some there's a Walking Dead reference. There's some Walking Dead inspiration there. There is some Judge Dredd. There's some Judge Dredd inspiration as well. And there's another thing that I kind of feel like people don't really latch onto. A lot of inspiration comes from old Western movies.
Yeah.
Old Western movies and old like Kurosawa films, like samurai movies.
Interesting.
Because as a pilgrim, I don't want to give too much away, but as a pilgrim, Aiden is very much like a desperado, very much like a gunslinger who shows up to a town, fixes stuff, and then, you know, the story continues, right? It's an episodic kind of hero.
Does the game touch much into Aiden's pilgrim background?
He gets asked about it a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, it's up to you whether or not you talk about it.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was okay. Yeah, I didn't know if they're gonna maybe have it start out beforehand and you're somewhat a pilgrim.
Can't give
going
too much of that away.
Yeah,
but
no.
yeah, there's he does get asked about it often. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good because it's definitely an interesting aspect that many people want to know about and explore. So, what is your favorite line that you had to record?
In every game, in every anime, I try and say the words "son of a bitch," and I just really like the way that rolls off my tongue, and I think I get to say it 3 or 4 times. Yeah, son of a bitch is. I just love swearing. Aiden, the director himself, was like, Jonah, you're really good at swearing. I don't know if that should be like a good thing or a bad thing, but you sound really good when you swear. It's very punchy and satisfying. So hopefully you guys get the fucking point.
Getting praise for your swearing by techland.
Good stuff.
How often does your voice crack while doing some of these lines?
My voice hasn't cracked, but sometimes you force a crack. So like if you're getting hit by something, is different than like that sounds completely different. But sometimes like if you are that desperate and if you are about to die, it doesn't matter how you sound because you're about to die. The stakes are that high. It's there are a few voice cracked like efforts and things like that, but it's only when they really need it. It doesn't sound too silly.
Zombie Infected Gaming, thank you so much for the $3 donation. The Walking Dead Negan versus 2 Dying Light Rises. That'd be an interesting fight to see. Jonah, who is your favorite crewmate on the Dying Light 2 crew that you've worked with?
There's a guy, I think he was a story guy. His name is Piotr Jeminek, and he's really cool. It's Peter in English, but he's really cool. There are a couple of guys who are on the sound team that are great, but I would be remiss if I did not mention Mikhail, who is the dialogue editor, and the guy who was the techland representative for pretty much every session that I had. He was there. He would tell us things that would happen in the game. Like if we had questions about the story, we would go to David, and David would tell us what's happening in the story. But if David had questions about the game and like where the camera is, where I am, what I'm doing, are they 50 feet away from me? Are they 10 feet in front of me? Like where is because you don't really, when you're playing or when you're just recording things and you don't have a visual, like for a cut, like if you'll notice the cutscenes sound very, very cinematic and real. Because I got all of the context. I understood where I was. I knew where everything is. I knew who I was talking to. I knew what environment we're in. I knew if I needed to project or not. But for like the wild random stuff where I'm just like running around, I didn't get a whole lot of context. I don't know exactly where I am. I couldn't see where I was on the screen. So we relied on Mikhail to tell us like, oh, Hakon is 50 feet above you. So, okay, I'm yelling a little bit. I'm projecting. I'm trying to make it so that Hakon can hear me. Or they're like, you're whispering, there is an infected in front of you, and you have to talk to yourself, but to the radio at the same time. So it can't be too loud, but you have to make sure that you are projecting into the radio to be heard. So there's like a lot of different mediums, right? So they have to make sure that I know what I'm doing and where I am, because context is very important in video games. So if there's ever a time where something sounds out of place, the odds are I wasn't given the right context, or that the context changed after we recorded it.
It's fascinating. You don't think how much actually goes into each and every single dialogue line that you've recorded.
Yeah, it's not like when I was playing video games and when I was like, not voice acting at all in my career, I would always think, oh, the voice actor had everything right now. Like the voice actor, why didn't they just do this? Like I can see it right there. It's clear as day. Well, the person that they were looking at a cutscene that was made out of Sculpey and had T-posing wireframe models and no reverb. So there was no way they could tell where they were. Like there's a lot of factors and variables that go into that. And it's the mark of a very good actor and production staff when that all works and you don't notice it.
Thank you, Zom Infected. Dude, stop donating, man. You've donated so much. It's okay. You can hold on.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus, thank you for the $5 donation. Director, look, Jonah passed out. That's why he's the best.
It's great. That's almost. Great. Not quite. Almost.
Let's see. Chad, if you guys do have questions, you can throw them away. Does Jonah have a YouTube channel? Yeah, I
do.
It's Jonah Scott, right?
Yeah, just go on YouTube and type in Jonah Scott. I have a YouTube channel. I also have a Twitch stream. I'm going to be streaming later this evening. I stream almost every day when I don't have work. And generally I stream between 3 and 5:30 or 6 PST is when I start, and then I end around 9:30 to 11 PST if I don't have night work. But yeah, I have a TikTok too. I'm on the social media. Like I'm the influencer thing. They invited me to the event. That means something, right? Yeah, I have a YouTube and a Twitch.
Is your schedule just crazy all the time?
It depends. Voice actors are very feast or famine. This past few months I've been very lucky because I've had Dying Light and I've had anime. I had a new anime come out yesterday called Super Crooks. You should go watch it in English. It's great. It's like Ocean's 11 but super villains, and I play the main character.
Hey.
But yeah, I've been lucky enough to get work, but the thing is, voice acting doesn't pay very well. It's not like we're making millions of dollars. Voice acting pays as much as you would get, working a normal job. Like I said, I'm living just above the poverty line. Like I can support myself, and that's about it. There's that, and then there's you aren't guaranteed work. So I audition, like I send out upwards of 150, 175 auditions every 2 weeks. And
oh my God.
I may book one, if that. So the return on investment and time isn't very high.
Is this just stuff your agent sends you, or are you actively looking?
Yeah, that's everything. It's what my agent sends me. It's what my friends send me. It's what my friends want me to be in. It's what, sometimes I have friends that are working on anime that here, audition for this character. Or sometimes I have friends that are working on a video game that's like, we'll give you a character and you get to pick. So sometimes you get the pick, and sometimes you're left sitting 2 years waiting whether or not you're going to be this character. Like I auditioned for massive video games, but I never hear anything back unless I get cast, unless you get unless you get a callback or something like that. And my return on auditions are like 2%. I book like 2% of what I audition for. This is another reason why this game is so huge for me, is because like this is I auditioned and then I just kind of got like grandfathered in. It happens in so many different ways. But yeah, I'm lucky that now I have work. But next month could just have nothing. I could just have nothing, no work. In January, I could just have nothing. I could have two gigs in the month, and then I have to use what I have earned like the past few months to support myself. I'm lucky that when in February, because I have a trajectory now. So in February, when this game comes out, I can pivot and start streaming almost full time, almost all day, every day, and then I will be able to, like, if I don't have work, I can be like, all right, I can just default and stream some Dying Light 2 and go do some comp stuff and, you know, make some events in the community and build up the community if I don't have work. And then when I have work, I'll take a break from that, you know, maybe 3 or 4 days and come back and get to work on that. It's like having several different jobs that you have to juggle. But yeah, it's hit or miss sometimes with voice acting.
What are your plans for when Dying Light 2 launches?
Well, I am going to be streaming constantly. I am going to be streaming the game as much as I can. I'm going to try and pace myself with the story, and do a lot of side quests and try and 100% things and do dark zones and things like that, and just take my time, playing the game that I've been working on for 5 years, and just having fun. But yeah, and then I'm gonna host a speedrun tournament for Dying Light 2, which I hope Ozzy doesn't win. Godspeed to Ozzy, but we'll see what happens.
The mad lad himself, the king.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I'm gonna host a speedrun tournament a month after the game comes out. I'm doing a revolving door of people who are gonna be playing with me in Dying Light 2. I got a bunch of people. I emailed Critical and ProZD and a bunch of other streamers and friends of mine, voice actors. People like Oni and people like Ozzy that are gonna come in and do a revolving door and just show up and play some of the game with me and hang out for the stream. But yeah, there's a lot. I mean, the game is huge.
Yeah.
The game is big. It's gonna take a while. It's gonna be a lot. Yeah. And then you can make your own challenges. Like, I'm going to get 1,000 points in a parkour challenge.
Yeah.
Or like, you make your own things. Just like in the old Dying Light.
Legit, thank you for the $3 donation. How old was Jonah when he started voice acting?
I was 22 when I started voice acting.
Oh.
And I am 28 now. I started voice acting from my dorm. I did auditions on my Rock Band USB microphone.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it wasn't. You start out pretty jank, and you slowly. Everything that I have for voice acting, I have paid with money that I've gotten from voice acting. I don't spend any of my personal money on equipment. It's all. Yeah, Moist Critical. Yeah.
That's what I do for YouTube. Literally everything in here.
That's smart.
This camera got me that camera.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep slowly working it up.
And that's another thing. After Dying Light 2 comes out, I hope, because a lot of video, like there are auditions for video games. There are auditions for AAA video games. And there are auditions for leads in AAA video games. But there are also a not insignificant amount of AAA games that just get cast, that just get, people just get given the parts, or like they send out offers to actors, and the actor will either thumbs up or thumbs down the offer, or give a counter offer. So hopefully when Dying Light 2 comes out, people will not just think I'm anime voice actor Jonah and realize that I have potential to do other things, and then maybe I will get an offer or something like that. Again, I'm not broke, but I'm getting there. And it would be nice to be able to have some job security and prove that I can, this is something that I can do for a living, and I'm not bad at it. So,
do you see yourself going more into gaming, or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's what I want to do. Again, much like Troy, I will do anime. Troy's, I think he's Baki in Baki the Grappler on Netflix. So he still does anime, and that's a union show. So I will still do anime as long as it's good stuff, and I like the show, and they want me in it, and everything's hunky dory there. But the one reason I moved out to LA was to do video games, because I love video games. When I got to voice in Elder Scrolls Online, that's how I started voice acting. I did fan mods for Skyrim. Like
Really?
I recorded a bunch of lines for fan mods for Skyrim. They would have me do different characters and things like that. There was an expansion that some mod team was working on, some indie developers were working on. that wasn't official, but it was very big and very vast, and I used to do stuff like that. And then I just got, be a major lore character on Elder Scrolls Online. I got to use a British accent. Like, that was a dream come true. And just like this is a dream come true. Like, it's crazy cool.
Can you do the British accent?
Oh yes, his name is Count Verandus Ravenwatch, and he's a vampire. Everyone calls him Daddy because he has a very paternal vibe about him.
Are you able to
Granted, his voice is.
Are you able to just switch to other accents too?
Yeah.
What else? What else you got up there?
For a long time, I was very. Several video games wanted me to do this pseudo Italian, Middle European thing. Don't know what it is, but it is very welcome in fantasy environments because you listen to the accent and you're like, I don't know where that is from, but I can imagine. I can imagine where that might be from.
It doesn't even sound like you.
No, it doesn't. Welcome to Fantasy Island. Yes.
I keep seeing how many endings are there. We can't talk about that. Come on.
A lot.
A lot.
More than on one hand.
Really? Wow, more than 5. Okay. One more donation. Zaman
did a British accent for Joe from Skate. Oh my gosh. Skate the Infinity. The gayest anime I've ever done.
Wait, what was it?
Skate the Infinity?
Skate the Infinity.
Have you seen that? It's pretty gay.
I'm Googling. I'm not a anime watcher.
You should, at least one time, man.
I'll watch Beastars just for you.
There you go.
It's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. Most of the shit I'm in is on Netflix.
That's true. Netflix does love you. I think I saw them tweet something about you a couple days ago.
Yeah, that blew me away too. and then the Dying Light Twitter mentioned me, and I'm just like, that's the first time you guys have mentioned me since I've been this character. Blown me away. Yikes, couldn't be me. What's your favorite anime? My favorite anime is Trigun. Which is an old anime.
This person wants to know if you can try out the Kyle Crane voice.
Crane sounds a little bit more like a stoner than Aiden does. It's a little different. Aiden's kind of gritty, but like, hold on, It's like if Mirage, I don't know, smoked a joint or something, like, and he's kind of down to earth. I don't know. I don't want to do too much of an impression of Roger, but
it's pretty spot on.
Yeah. Thank you.
Jesus, thank you for the $5 donation. Jonah, what did
the bullets say to the man who got shot? Okay, so these joke sections were gold. So much fun. Because when I was recording that joke, I'm just like, is this like a dad joke? Is this like a place? No, he's actually going to do the dad joke. And I'm like, fantastic. Aiden, there's, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there's part of one of the quests where you have to, it's help PKs or something like that. And then one of them comes up to you and does a dad joke, and you get to respond. You have 4 options to respond to the punchline of the dad joke. And if you get it right, the guy likes you a little bit more.
I love that.
Yeah, it's great. It's hilarious.
That makes me excited.
There's a lot of options too, so you're like, I don't know which one's the right one.
Chad, you guys have any more questions for Mr. Jonah Scott here?
Pass the booth, Mirage.
Oh my god. She's whining away down there.
Aw.
I don't know if you can hear it.
I don't know if this has been asked, but we've been optioned to have an evil Aiden. Okay, so I want to go and assess the fact that there's no like Paragon Renegade meter. There's nothing like that. It's all internal. So you'll never really get a visual of like, I mean, maybe based on who you're helping, but like you'll never really get a bar or a meter or something that you're supposed to fill up. It's just what you feel morally is right. And Aiden will react to what you decide accordingly. but there is no like meter.
Can Aiden satisfy everyone, or is the game set up where someone gets screwed over?
I'm not sure. Because like the choices that I did were in vacuums, so I can't really see how one choice affected the other one. I was told in the moment, and I acted in the moment as though like what I was told, but it's hard to remember. I would tell you if I knew, but I think that's the case. Like you're able to, obviously, if you think you have to approach this, you have to approach decisions in Dying Light 2 like you haven't. Okay, so decisions in Dying Light 2 are, and I don't say this to be sensational or anything. Decisions in Dying Light 2 are unlike any decisions I have made in a video game. They are very unique in that you have to treat them. It's not like you're dealing with a computer. You have to treat them as though you're dealing with a human. And as though you are responding to a human. They will react like a human would react in their circumstances, in their scenario, which is one reason I really got to hats off to the writing department, because they're not just writing Aiden. Yeah, they're writing, and they're not writing NPCs. They're writing a bunch of characters that have their own motivations, that have their own struggles, that have their own desires, who are also living in the post-apocalypse 15 years after it happened. So there is a lot of mental struggle that the NPCs that you interact with that are going about, and they will respond as a human in that situation. So you got to really be careful and weigh your options while you're just like, only got 20 seconds or so to think about this shit. So yeah, it's a smart game.
Have you ever played Detroit Become Human?
Yes.
How does it compare to that?
Again, Detroit Become Human is one of those games that was made entirely in English, entirely in the West.
Okay, gotcha.
So they're fundamentally different. They do have games. There are choices like that, but that one plays more, I believe, like a visual novel would.
It does. Mm-hmm.
Where it's like you have choices every 5 seconds, but like whether or not you choose to have a sandwich or a banana really doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
And it just kind of chooses which one he has. Like, so these are all the choices you make. They have consequences.
Legit Skittles, thank you for the $3 donation. Have you met the actor to Kyle Crane?
Roger Craig Smith and I interacted on Twitter once.
Did you?
And he sent me, I'll send you the emoji he sent me. I said, somebody sent me a signed picture of Sonic the Hedgehog that said, gotta go faster, Roger Craig Smith. And I'm like, I took a picture of it and I posted it to Twitter and I said, there's no way on earth I could go faster than you, Roger. And then he sent me, hold on, where's the,
I want to see this.
he sent me what I believe to be the yikes emoji, but it's an emoji that's just like the smiling teeth or whatever. I don't know if I can put it in the Twitch chat. Hold on.
If not, you can send it to me and I'll show it on stream.
I'm gonna find it. Oh, there it is. Here, I'll send it in the YouTube chat. He sent me like 8 of this emoji, and I'm like, what does that mean, Roger? Is that a bad thing? Am I being sus? Like, what? Consequences for the dad joke?
There it is.
Yeah. It affects whether or not that guy likes you.
Consequences, the peacekeepers just start invading the survivors because you didn't answer the
You got the dad joke wrong.
You said you were going survivors, right? I think that was your...
Yeah, probably. I actually, if they do Twitch integration, I'm gonna do whatever Twitch says. But if they don't, I'm gonna do whatever I benefit from the most, like as a player. So instead of like having, depending on how I play, I might do car bombs or whatever. The zip lines are nice too, but it depends on which ones I want.
You saw the car bombs look great.
Car bombs look sick. They look so much better than the first game.
They do. It was like a random like Japanese player that had it.
Yeah,
the car bombs going. Let's see. Oh, you're whining.
Aw.
You're whining down there. You're right
poopy.
down there.
You just pre-ordered the game. Way to go.
Do you know? Noviax wanted me to ask you about this.
Okay.
Do you know the "It's About the Mets" meme?
Yes. Yeah. Gotta love the Mets. I love the Mets.
Noviax wants to know if you can do that in the Aiden voice.
What's the exact copy pasta?
Okay,
Hold on.
wait. Noviax, where are you? This is when I need you. Let's see. It's about the Mets.
Let's go Mets. Yeah, that's the meme.
Copy. It's about the Mets copy pasta. All right.
Let's go Mets. Love the Mets.
I got it right here.
No, I found it. Yeah, I found it.
All right.
It was about the Mets. Love the Mets, baby. Get a home run. Love the Mets. Love the Mets. Let's go Mets. There you go. There's your Aiden. It was about the Mets. Love the Mets, baby. Get a home run. Love the Mets. Love the Mets. Let's go Mets.
Can side quests affect the main quests?
Yes.
Yes. We went over that. Very briefly, but we went over that. All the choices matter. Did you ever play
RuneScape, dude? Fuck yeah. 100 skill, mining, wood felling. I was the dude that was gonna trim your Addy armor in Lumbridge. That was how I made my money. Get it? Trim it, and then I sell it. I was a dick. I was a kid, though. You know, I was like, I didn't know it was gonna be that big of a deal.
That's my friend Tyler. I think he just maxed out all of his skills on RuneScape.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I can sleep peacefully now.
Good, Noviax. I'm glad.
Let's see. That's all the questions that I got from...
No way.
Everybody
That's
over
it?
here.
We answered all the questions, so nobody has any more questions about Dying Light at all ever? So when I go in the Discord...
I
be
had
no
a
more
nice
questions.
had a nice Google Doc of questions. We went through all of them.
I have seen the Storer video, yeah.
It's a great video.
Yeah, they're
It's
good.
It's intense.
Will there be any DILF mod effects in Dying Light 2? Dying Light 2 Aiden DILF mod. Oh yeah, Jeff. Yes. Yes, Jeff. There is a lot of that. I am saying a lot of the story is the characters for a reason.
I know I've spoken to you about this before, but like that little section that we have with Rosario's character, it's really fun and wholesome. You can tell you two are having fun with it.
And it's not just Rosario's character either. Aiden, I don't know if you played far enough to where he got to hang out in the camp with a bunch of other survivors and like go and ask a bunch of questions and talk to them.
Like explore throughout the camp, or like go and sit at the campfire, or
go and explore this camp and
Okay.
talk to Sophie and okay, all right, cool.
I didn't get that far.
Yeah.
To be fair, I got a much different ending with Sophie. So.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So.
See, it's all different.
Me and Aussie were talking about our choices, and so I won't spoiler it that bad, but essentially you have an option to either go into a building or go back. And I chose one option, Aussie chose a different option. I got a completely different boss fight, and people were pissed off at me for doing what I chose. It's like
Really?
Yeah. With the particular character, they were not happy about that.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right, sweet. But yeah, every choice matters. It's but yeah, a lot of the characters are, you learn more about them as the game goes on. And one complaint that I had for Dying Light is that some of the characters just dropped off the face of the earth. And they just like stopped, and they had no bracket. They had no like resolution or character arc or anything like that. They were almost caricatures. And there's a lot of character development that happens in the game too.
What was it? There was a Dying to Know More episode. And when the dev said that one of the characters makes like a dating app or something.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite quests. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. Okay, I'm so glad that like that got like leaked so I can talk about it. Like that's fun. There are some quests that are genuinely like they're Legosi quests. They're super fun. They're really wholesome. They have some sort of like fun kitschy thing to them, but they all matter. They all matter. It's really neat. Any kid characters? There are children. Yeah, there are children. There are quest NPCs that are children.
Do you think it's, when doing your first playthrough, you think it's worth going through all the side quests before?
Oh yeah. It's gonna take a long time, but it is very worth it.
Okay. Because I know many people want to know that, like, as each side quest appears, just do them immediately, or just like save them towards the end.
Here's the thing: if you play through the entire game without doing any of the side quests, I don't know if you're gonna be happy with how the world is at the end, because like you can speedrun the game and you can get there, you can get to the end of the game as fast as you would like to, but there are characters you wouldn't have met, and there are characters that when you go into your friend's world are gonna be there that you're gonna spoil yourself for and things like that. So I recommend taking your time.
That's how I usually go and tackle most.
Same.
RPG
That's how I tackled Outer Worlds.
games.
I just played all the side quests as they were like given to me.
Outer Worlds. That's like the one that's made by the Fallout.
That's Bethesda. Yeah, Bethesda, the space Bethesda game.
I get confused with Outer Worlds,
Outer Wilds and Outer Worlds.
Yeah, those are the two
same.
that constantly get me confused. Like my one friend was
no
like,
side quests mean bad ending confirmed. I didn't say that. It depends on if you like. You know, some people might like the ending. Who knows? But I personally wouldn't. Reckon story was amazing. Too bad he just dipped. Yeah, just peaced out.
Wait, we can't answer how many endings there are.
I can't say how many endings there are.
More than one hand.
More than a hand.
Which
Favorite
is
type
good.
of infected in a Dying Light? Let's see.
The volleys. The volleys are,
volatiles are obviously
the
pretty cool. My favorite new infected. The Revenant is cool. I don't know if he's limited to that little zone. If he just spawns in that like arena that you fight him in, I have no idea.
Did you?
It'd be nice to have
run into him.
Huh?
Did you run into him at all?
No, but I've watched the fight several times. He looks the fight looks fun. I like the phases. That's really neat. That's a fun addition where it's like now he's gonna go do like AOE moves. He'll res some zombies. He'll do AOE moves, and then he'll go to a high ground. It's pretty cool. Hopefully there's I don't know if there's a Night Hunter or not. I like the Howler. That's fun because I feel like a lot of what the game is going to be at night now. Again, this can all change if they decide to like add roaming volatiles in again. But I feel like a lot of the night is going to be you stealthing and like parkour stealthing as much as you can, and then until you get noticed by a Howler, like, or you get you parkouring as far as you can until you fuck up and fall on the ground or something like that. And then a chase starts, and then you have to like run out the chase, and then you can start parkouring again. That's what it seems like to me. The night is stealth until it's not, and then you fix it again.
I'm hoping that the volatiles aren't locked behind level 4.
Me too. I hope they're back roaming around. At least maybe make them like lower level volatiles, and then higher level volatiles come out or something like that.
Did you watch my one video on what I think happened with the volatiles?
No, what happened? I think I did, but I just forgot what you said.
Storytime chat. I'll make it quick. So Noviex is probably one of the only ones that has volatile footage because he got the chase level 4. So on the bus ride back, I asked one of the techland devs.
Oh yeah.
I asked one of the techland devs like where volatiles were. It's like, oh, they weren't in that build. And I'm like, oh, well, Noviex got them. And the techland dev was just surprised and very confused that happened. So I don't think they were supposed to be in the build at all, and they were meant to be kept as a surprise. Or it is locked behind level 4.
Maybe.
It's unclear. I hope it's not that. I think it'll really take away from a lot from the game if it goes that path. Anything about a weather system? We don't know about that yet.
See, that's another thing. That's another good question. Because, playing the game during a rainstorm would be completely different than not. Also, oh man, ray tracing in a rainstorm. That's one thing I like about Cyberpunk's ray tracing is everything is so shiny.
Did you see the ray tracing in the outskirts or in the city?
Both. I saw the ray tracing on the interior of a skyscraper, and it looked so good. And then I saw some on the outside during a cutscene. No, this one was on the inside of Old Villador, with the door open, so I could still see outside. But it was really good. It looks great. It looks so good. I cannot wait to play this game.
How? I already know the answer to this one. I know there's a lot of people in here that are tuning in for the first time. How was it hearing yourself playing? I was next to you, so I already know. But
it was the most surreal thing. I cried a little bit. I know that sounds silly, but like this is my dream come true. This is something that I've wanted to do for literally years, and I got to sit down and play it. And it's I can't thank Techland enough. I can't thank you guys enough. This is what I wanted to do for my entire life. Like this is we're doing the damn thing. I've wanted to be this, single player action RPG protagonist, and it's happening, and I get to do what I want to do with the character, and I've been given so much creative liberty, and I really hope you guys like Aiden. I really hope. I put a lot into him, and I just really hope he's fun. I'm beyond words at some points. Oh, I do have footage of me playing it for the first time though on my GoPro. I have
your
footage
first reaction.
Of hearing my voice and stuff like that on my GoPro. So hopefully I'll be able to get that up.
Is that going to be in your little?
That might be a separate video, honestly, because it's gonna be hard to sync up my GoPro footage to what my actual gameplay footage. I did a snap, but we had so many power outages that it didn't really matter.
Honestly, I'm kind of thankful for the power outages because
it made you check the resolution and shit too, didn't it? It made me that too.
What was it? In OBS, when they first set it up, it was recording at like 360p.
Yeah. Mine was in 4K, but it was also chat, and one reason you'll realize there's no audio for some of my gameplay when it's out is it was the needle for the game audio was all the way up. So everything was overmodulated, and it was picking up super sensitive microphone headset noise from the entire room. So it was recording my microphone from my headset too. So I have overmodulated game sound, which sounds very loud, and headset noise. So you can hear me talking to Oni and like a bunch of other people as I'm playing the game. So for some of that, there will be no sound effects, which sucks because I'm speaking, and that's one of the only reasons I want to. So it's most of my gameplay is me talking about like parkour and stuff. My camera died. Hold on.
The power outage.
I can fix it.
Oh, $2 donation from Jesus. Thank you so much. Jonah, do you think having the health bars breaks immersion?
I mean, if you're trying to be immersed, yes. If you're trying like exclusively just to play this game as a survival horror video game, yeah. But not everyone's trying to play that way. So there are some people that are trying to play it like an RPG, and some people who like Assassin's Creed Odyssey. There is the minority across the board, and as a game developer, you have to try and do the best for everyone, even if it's not what everyone wants. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, cool. I hope I'm not like talking out my ass, but like, yeah, it's the health bars when I was playing, they did take me by surprise, but I didn't find the immersion ruined because I wasn't really immersed. They just kind of dropped me in the game. I didn't play the game from the start. I didn't like stay there. I was playing because the entire time I was like, oh my God, I'm in this fucking video game. Isn't that fucking cool? Like I wasn't paying attention to how immersive the quests were or anything like that. Oh my God, really? All right. Looks like the camera's not working for now.
Whoa.
Which sucks. Let me see if I can get my other one going.
Me.
Hold on.
You have the floor, Oni.
It's double me. I have to probably feed my dog real quick, so I was gonna do that.
I'm gonna go pee. Hold on.
Legit Skittles. How many new infected were added? A lot or just a few more? I think we went ahead. Oh, it's not. Look at me under this crappy camera. I think we went ahead and counted all the ones that are in the game. I think we counted up to 12. 10 or 12. There's 10 or 12 different ones that we had, including some of the ones from the first one. There's 2 Onis. Yeah, my nice new camera, my crappy old camera. The OG camera, I should say. 2 OniZombies in the multiverse is indeed true.
Okay. Okay.
Time for shitty cam. Where are you at? Camera. Here we go. Oh yeah, look at that, huh?
What webcam is that?
Mean shit.
What webcam is this?
This is a Logitech C920.
Oh, that's the one I got.
Nice.
It washes out all the colors.
Look, you can see my Danny.
Bro, there it is.
I got a Danny too.
Look at that. Everyone Dying Light 2 related has a Danny DeVito.
My Danny DeVito. Hold on. Let me you know what? Hold on. My haircut is annoying, so sometimes I gotta use this fucking fancy clip. Get it out of my fucking face. Put the headphones on.
All right,
Go.
I'm gonna grab
Go
my
feed your dog
a snack real quick. It's all you, Jonah. You got this.
Oh boy. Hey chat.
You and Danny.
What's going on? It's me and Danny. You can see my messy bed too. This is it. This is where I live. This is where I live. This is where I stream. Oh, hey, Danny. Hey, man. So you like Dying Light 2 Stay Human?
Come on, Sam.
What's your favorite part? Excuse me, Mr. Mantis Toboggan? Danny is Dying Light 2 main character confirmed. Yep, double confirmed. Is there no difference in camera quality? Well, I mean, they're both 1080p. It's just my my like film camera has more like film grain and stuff. This is also not 60 FPS. I think I can fix that. I don't know. I'd have to go into the camera settings because there's no like light balance or anything like that. Is there any way? Are there any idle dialogue lines? There isn't idle lines, but fun voice actor fact. They had a fun time with idle breathing. I had a fun time with idle breathing because what I noticed in video games when I'm playing as a gamer, I'm gonna say this a lot, but as a gamer, what I notice in video game is the subtle things, and as a voice actor, what I notice in video games is even the subtler things. So things like breathing. My philosophy is every time somebody like idle breathes, breathing through the nose sounds incredibly human and real. If you think about it, when you are like breathing, if somebody tells you to go and like, you're running, okay, breathe. Right? That's not how you breathe. That's not how a human breathes. It's like, it's like through the nose and shit like that. So they peppered a lot of my nose breathing. I know it sounds stupid, but it works and it makes a difference. But they peppered a lot of my nose breathing in, and it sounds really good. The PS5 version is 21 gigabytes without day one patch. I don't know if I believe that. I mean, maybe super compressed on like an SSD or something. You ever play Red Dead 2? Yeah. When it first came out, I sat down and played it for weeks. Is there a timer when you have to make decisions? Yes. I think when it's over, it does the direction of your previous choice. POV, you are breathing. Yeah. Are there still forced nighttime missions? No, it is not forced. Here's the fun part about nighttime missions. They are easier during the night. They are incredibly difficult during the day. So you can do them during the day, you chicken shit bastard, but they're super easy during the night. What do you want to do? You can play it during the day. Yeah, they're challenging during the day. You can play them during the day. You can do it during the day, but you can also during the night.
Ooh, that's a good one. When Jonah goes into dialogue while he is out of stamina, will he talk tiredly?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially during like more of those like scripted fights. It's hard to know when the player is going to be out of stamina because you can pretty much do it at any time. When it's more scripted, it's easier to hear. But even in like, I'm bringing this up again, but even in Spider-Man PS4, where Yuri Lowenthal had to record 2 versions of every line, there are still some times when that slips up, and it's like I'm still swinging, right? But I'm not doing a swinging line. But it'll be immersive, especially with the amount of like breathing and the number of efforts that we did. Jesus, if they didn't get what they needed, I'm gonna go back in and do more. But
was it always like that from the beginning, or is that a feature that you guys added? Like
we kept adding tiny things as I kept talking and like showing them what I could do and showing me how. Because again, they didn't really know what I could do. We've been working together for years, but like we didn't have this caucus at all until we started to actually record the like straight up lines and be like, what character is Aiden? What are we going for? Like, what exactly is happening? And then we started peppering in the fun stuff, like, oh, let me try and I'm gonna breathe through my nose for this, or I'm gonna give this line some pre-life, or can we cheat this line so that I can do the intention that I want to give, but at the same time have it fit, because you can't see. The best part about doing the wild lines and the cutscenes, and one thing that is completely different than anime or other gaming things, is you don't see Aiden's face. So I can sound however the fuck I want, and I can give pretty much whatever expression I want, and you don't see his face, so it reads regardless of what it is, as long as I still time everything to the pointing, because sometimes the motion capture actor would be like this, or the motion capture actor would put his hands out like this, or he would like shake or tremble. And I would have to like match that, obviously, and like so like instead of saying like, I don't think you're gonna get this, I don't think you're gonna get this, when he like points the finger or something like that, you had to make it read.
Legit, thank you for the $7 donation. Are there any decisions that affect Aiden, like getting a finger cut off or getting bit?
I can't talk about that. But that'd be cool, wouldn't it?
What game does that? Is there a game that does that?
There's a game that does it, but it's not a scripted choice. There are Resident Evil, the new Resident Evil does the whole like, oh, you lost your hand, now play the game without a hand until you get your hand back. Like, oh, you lost a finger. It was like a gameplay change.
Sheriff, wow, thank you so much for the $10. Nice. Have you answered any questions about your creative freedom while voice acting?
Oh man.
If you have not, how much creative freedom, if any, did Techland give you?
They gave me as much as I honestly wanted. I could do pretty much whatever I wanted, aside from altering the story. I couldn't like change what Aiden was going to do. Like that was in stone. I couldn't change what other characters were going to do. That was in stone. But how Aiden got that point across, I was pretty much up to me. And me and the writer, obviously. The director had the ultimate say, or the producer had the ultimate say. The director had say over the writer, and the writer had say over me. So I could throw out an option, right? And 90% of the time, the option worked. We just had to massage it a little bit and make sure that it would fit into the scene or fit into the time frame that we were doing. There were a lot of like ways things were referred, like MacGuffins, story items, titles of characters, things like that. Were we gonna? One thing that I personally, as an actor, really enjoy is saying the person whose name you're talking to in the scene, because as somebody who's watching a movie or playing a game, a lot of the time the characters start to blur together, and the only reason you really know their name is because it says their name before the subtitle. Right?
That's true.
And I don't like that. As a person who's gaming, I want to be immersed as much as you guys. So a lot of my suggestions were, if we had the time, a lot of my suggestions were, hey, Aiden hasn't said this character's name at all, ever. So can we put that in somewhere? So instead of like, I don't want to do that, Sophie, I don't want to do that. That humanizes
it does.
so much more than just, I don't want to do that. Frank, we can't do like that kind of thing. You know, you gotta. It has so much more weight when you put the person's name there, right? And it makes it so that it feels like Aiden now cares about this situation, right? Let me get your attention. Come on, Sophie, we can't like that kind of thing. It does so much with just a little tiny bit.
The difference of adding in one extra word just humanizes it so
It's
much
insane.
more. I haven't even thought about that. Jesus, thank you so much for the $5 donation. Jonah, one of my theories about the honey for immunity boosters is that since the infected are always angry eating honey, it makes you a sweetie pants.
That's cute. Yeah, Aiden covers himself in honey before he parkours. He bathes in honey.
Danny looks unbelievably real. That's
Does
how
he?
tall he is.
That looks real. Is that really? That's
him.
1-to-1 there.
That's 1-to-1. That if you ever wondered how tall Danny is, here. I'm 5'9", 5'10". He's right here. Right
Danny's a shorty.
Right underneath me.
Short king.
Oh, Skittles. Man, you guys gotta stop donating. Are all characters killable from choices? If you can talk about it.
If you make some choices, some characters don't survive the story. I can say that. Like, but I don't know whether or not everyone is killable. Also, it's not like certain games where you can just run up and smack people and kill them. Like there are some rules. Like
I do like, at least in the build that we were playing, my Aiden was a middleman, so I could just walk up to peacekeepers, slash at them. I could walk up to survivors, slash
you
at
can.
them.
It depends on what your like alignment is. If you are friends, I've noticed this though. If you are friends with people in a quest that are like helping you, like the quest that I was on, I went out and there was like 2 factions fighting each other, and if the faction you are doing the quest for has people fighting, you can't kill those people.
Okay.
But you might have been able to. I was whacking him a lot, and I didn't realize that I was whacking somebody that was a friend until I noticed his health wasn't going down. And I'm like, oh, you're a friend. Sorry, didn't mean to keep hitting you.
It was like that with the cable section, the cable puzzle. There's something like that where the renegades come and attack. But it's a quest for the peacekeepers. So
and what I really liked was Lawan didn't try and shit on you. She was just like, hey, you do what you want to do, but like as long as there's power to the city, I'm cool.
But you had a lot to say afterwards.
But if you do make the wrong choice, she would definitely shit on you. But she didn't try and be like, you should do this. She didn't like sway you in any direction. You were free to make your choice, and then she berated you.
Yeah. You can make your choice, and then if you side with the peacekeeper, she trashes on you.
Exactly.
Is there still dark zones like in the 2019 gameplay? Yes, there is. No guns, by the way.
When the biomarker turns completely red, do you die instantly, or do you have to you die instantly? If the biomarker is essentially that wheel at the top too, as well as what you're wearing on your hand. But once that wheel depletes, you're dead. So if you have to go and think of it like swimming. You have an oxygen meter, right? And every now and again, you have to go up for air. But if you spend too long down there, you're gonna die. So every now and again, you in the dark, you're swimming in the deep ocean, and every now and again, you got to go find a UV light to just take a deep breath, and then you can go back into the dark. You do have these shrooms though that you can crush up and inhale, that will give you more immunity in the dark. I hope they nerf that, because it's really strong. And there's no point to UV lights if you can just crush shrooms. It shouldn't give you as much, is what I'm saying. They should definitely be in the game, but they shouldn't give you as much.
I noticed that when we played, our immunity was at like 7 minutes. And then
and then there was another.
It was like 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, it was like 2.5 or 4 minutes. Crazy.
I think that was because they said when I interviewed Timon, he said that they had to make the game easier. So I'm thinking that's what one of the things
that would make sense, especially earlier on. It would honestly limit your exploration too, which is kind of nice and gives you things to do at the end of the game or near the end of the game when you have more meter. Because think about it, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes.
That's
Remember
nothing.
some of the old, remember some of the old quarantine zones in Dying Light 1? They would take like half an hour to clean out. Having 2 minutes to go into a dark zone and clean it out is nothing.
IGN couldn't handle it. Gotta change it.
0 out of 10, too much darkness. Not enough light.
Custom maps, nothing about that. Sprint button.
I do really, really hope they
Oh, the
open
sprint-
up dev
The
tools
sprint button.
because
Oh,
there's a
man.
new fucking engine, and I want to see people fuck around with the new engine, and see what they can do, because I feel like this has potential to be like New Vegas tier modding kind of community.
The wonders that modding, specifically the Steam Workshop, if it has Steam Workshop integration, it will blow that game, its longevity for years if it's done right. Look at Left 4 Dead. If it's done correctly, it'll go on.
The game will have
so
content forever.
long. So long. And that's what, like, that's the one thing, like, when Halo came out, I'm so upset I didn't have Forge when it launched. But no, I really hope that they can bring it sooner than later.
Yeah. Aiden does shrooms, confirmed, double confirmed. Yeah. On camera. Aiden has done shrooms on camera.
How much screaming do you have to do?
I've done a lot of screaming. A lot of screaming.
How long are your sessions usually?
Oh,
Like,
okay. Good question. I usually, my day to day, like if I had a Dying Light session that day, what I would do is, depending on whether or not I had anime in the morning, I would get up at like 9:30.
God.
And then I would get up at 9:30. I would do my sessions, or I would get up at 9:30, eat breakfast, get stuff done, check my emails and things like that. And then my sessions would usually start at 2 p.m. So I have to be on the road by 1 to get to the studio by 2. And then my sessions would be from 2 to 6. And then I'd be out at 6. I'd get home, drive back in LA traffic at 6 p.m. And then I'd get home. So they're about 4 hours long. And that's like the max. Yeah. Well, we have breaks.
Yeah.
Every hour they'll give us like 5 minutes to go and get water and things like that. But
that sounds exhausting.
it's tiring, but it is so much fun. It is so much fun. It's very cathartic. I got to see all kinds of every time I would go in, I'd be like, do I get to see anything new? Do I get to see any more gameplay? Do I get to see any like cutscenes? Whenever we got to dub cutscenes, that was a good day because I got to watch fun stuff. I get to hear other actors.
How often did you record a week?
I think at peak it was like 3 times a week. So it was Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and yeah, I don't think rarely did I have a session on Friday. But you got to also consider too, at the same time, I was starring in like 2 shows, and I had, other anime that I had to do, and I had other games that I had to do, and some of it was with my agent and some of it wasn't. And so it was very, some days I had very, very busy recording days. So it was like, 9 to 12, I would have anime, and then I'd have 30 minutes to eat lunch, and then an hour drive to the studio, 4 hours for Dying Light, and I drive back home, and it's like 7, and then I'm exhausted, and I want to go to bed at like 9:30, but then I have to stream for a couple hours and play, So I'd have long days, but I'm doing what I want to do with my life. It's the most fun I've ever had.
It's awesome. Those back to back, that probably kills you. I can't even imagine.
Oh, that's a good question. Did you have to do a drowning sound? I did. I had to do several, and I kind of did it like I would, like I used to hear in Far Cry and a bunch of other games, but at the same time, I really hate when people surface and they go, right? You don't do that. Because when you breathe and you take a deep breath and go underwater, you go. So when you surface, you go. Like you blow that air out. You don't breathe in more air. So that's a fun thing I did. But for drowning, you just go like that shit. You just you can't open your mouth and breathe in or you die.
I'm enjoying listening to you drown.
I had some I had to gargle some water too. The infected Aiden sounds were fun to do. A lot of
You might want to clarify on
shit.
those infected Aiden sounds before they go on a roll
Oh
with it.
yeah, no, dude, trust me. When they told me to do infected Aiden sounds, I went down the same fucking theory crafting rabbit hole, where it was like, Aiden, he's got an infected Aiden skill tree, and he's gonna be able to do like be the zombie things, and that's fun. And I gotta make sure. No, that's at least to my knowledge, that is not at all what happened. So as Aiden gets more and more infected during the night, he starts to sound more and more infected. And he eventually starts to turn, and there's like a big like turning sound that he does. But yeah, it's like as he's, and it's fun because every sound effect is infected. So when he's parkouring, he's infected parkouring. When he's fighting, he's like infected fighting and shit like that. And he's, you know, wall running, it's like it's fun. You should go, and that's one thing that I really want to do is like go in the evening and see how infected I can get, because there were 3 levels. So I'll see how infected I can get and listen to all those fun infected parkour sounds. Sounds like you're playing Be the Zombie, but you're not.
I didn't even notice it when I was playing. It was too chaotic with everything chasing me.
Yeah, it does get pretty chaotic, but you'll notice like when you enter the darkness, you'll hear Aiden go like, ugh, like it hurts. Like you need to get it out into the sun soon.
It's like every darkness area. It's like inside of houses.
And it's not annoying. That's thank God. That's one thing that I wanted is that because it happens so often to get annoying.
Legit
add Danny
Skittles
DeVito for
again.
future content.
Danny DeVito is the
Get
next
Rosario
one.
Dawson.
Danny DeVito is the next one to get on here.
Danny DeVito is Lawan's dad. Call him Daddy DeVito.
We got Johnny Sins. Got Jonah.
The
T-Bone.
Dying Light 2 cinematic universe gets bigger and bigger every day.
we meme Johnny Sins and Danny DeVito into this.
Oh, his dog is so precious. I love a little sweater.
Little sweater.
Yeah, you're doing all right with the whole like you got 20K subscribers.
Dude, I know.
And then some.
I was at like 16,000, and then we went to the event, and now we're here. In like a week and a half.
Can you play as infected Aiden? I mean, technically, yes. You just got to make sure you don't die.
Can Aiden sing?
I don't fucking know. I mean, I can sing, so I guess Aiden can sing. But what's up with the floaty parkour? That's above my pay grade. Also, could you say one of your lines? I don't really remember any of them. They're also like specific and situational.
Is there one that you just kept fucking up and you just couldn't get it down? Like a tongue twister sort of?
Yeah, there are several that are tongue twisty because of the whole like the language thing. Some of the Polish stuff just translated into English into something that was really hard to say in English. So that's one of the situations where I'm just like, all right, Dave, we got to rewrite this. This is tough. Longer chunks of dialogue you'll notice are harder to get through, especially in cutscenes, because there is a certain amount of time, right? And the time is limited by the time the Polish actor said it. So if what's in Polish is shorter than what's in English, and I only have a short amount of time to say what I have, so we have to rewrite everything and make it so that it fits in that little tiny envelope. Jonah, you said earlier that you were doing something with a PS5 giveaway. Yeah, I'm slowly, again, this is nothing triple confirmed, but I'm slowly getting my hands on several PS5s to give away when the game comes out on my Twitch stream. So if you come and watch the Twitch stream, if you're in chat, we'll do some sort of giveaway stuff. And I'm putting this out there. I'm throwing the ball in Techland's court. I'm buying the PS5s. If Techland wants to give me a few copies of Dying Light 2, maybe a special edition, I will give them away with the PlayStation 5s. So not only will you get a copy of Dying Light, but you'll get something to play it on.
We need a.
That's if they. I'll just be giving away PS5s if Techland doesn't give me any copies of Dying Light. But and if they don't, I'm gonna buy my own copies of Dying Light to give to you guys, because I'm not gonna give you a copy of the game without giving you something to play on, and I'm not gonna give you something to play a game on if you don't have any games. You know what I mean?
I wonder if they'll do PS5 specific consoles.
Oh, that'd be sick.
That would be
yeah, fuck yeah. Dying Light 2, PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
I'll give those away.
It'd be
Were there
even
any
more limited than the freaking collector's edition.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, I have 2 of those. You said that those statues were like limited edition, and apparently they're like $5,000 a piece. I have 2. That's another thing I'm giving away. Hold on, let me show you guys.
Is this the one from E3 or the collector's edition?
Yeah, it's the one from E3. This bad boy. In here?
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna give this away in February. When the game comes out, I'm gonna sign it on the box for y'all. And this is a big deal right here. There are only like 8,000 of these, or 3,000 or something. Limited edition.
Yeah, there's not that many out there. I think 3,000 is the right one.
Yeah, 3,000.
I think so. I have to
That
double
sounds
check.
right. Wasn't a whole lot. Sounds right.
Thank you for the donation.
Are there no loading screens? From what I saw, the only loading screen I had was loading into the game. They do a lot of load hiding behind animations, which is cool, but there are no loading screens, like dedicating loading screens.
From a donation, what inspired you to become a voice actor?
Let's see. I've been an actor my entire life. I've been like a stage actor my whole life. But I loved video games. I really did, and I thought I was gonna go to Broadway, and I tried to go to Broadway. I hung out with my buddy while he was doing auditions, and I wouldn't have thrived in that environment. I probably would have left New York City like months after I got there. So I didn't know what I was gonna do. Went back to college, finished college in my last year, and my girlfriend at the time, I was playing Titanfall. My girlfriend at the time was like, "Hey, you kind of sound like that guy," and I'm like, "No, I don't." And I was listening, and I'm like, "Okay, maybe a little bit." And then it hit me because I played games my whole life, and I'd mocked the voice actors the entire time, but it never I never sat down to think like that's an actor who got paid to do that job, and then they get to play the game there, and and that never dawned on me. And after my girlfriend had mentioned it, I'm like, you know what? You're right. I should try that. So I tried it in my dorm again with my Rock Band microphone, and I got cast. And I was all independent, oh, we're gonna do a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fandom, and it's like, okay, sure, whatever. I'll just use my practice there. And I kept getting cast more and more and stuff. And then there was people that wanted to pay me to do the work. And then I was getting paid more for voice acting than I was working at the deli I was working at or working at Staples. Oh, by the way, fuck you, Staples, and fuck you, Staples Center. I'm happy it's the Crypto Center now. I'm happy. Fuck off, Staples. I hate Staples. I was an Easy Tech sales associate. I was an Easy Tech sales associate for 2 fucking years, selling old people product replacement plans they didn't need. So, I hate Staples. Fuck Staples.
I love your hatred for Staples.
Thank you.
That was not on my bingo card for this interview.
There's a No, you don't get it. There is a Staples brand surrogate in Dying Light 2 in the city center. There is a Staples office building, and I saw it, and I had flashbacks. And I'm like, thank God I can run all over this building. Oh.
What did you go to college for?
I was a musical theater major, and I minored in broadcast journalism. So I did a lot of radio stuff in college. I did news reporting. I did theater. Obviously, I did stage. I did every stage show that I could. But yeah, whenever I was doing schoolwork, it was radio and stuff.
Is it out there on the internet? Is someone gonna find it in a year from now?
Western. I will give you. I went to school at Western Kentucky University. So if you ever go on YouTube and stumble across some Western Kentucky University stuff from around 2016, 2015, I may have been a reporter, but there were so many students at that school that like a lot of what I did is probably on a hard drive somewhere, like in the school's archives.
I hope we can blow up the Staples Center.
It's not the Staples Center anymore. Is there a, did you see like a stadium at all? I don't know. I'm just asking if you saw anything like that. Or like some sort of big building like that?
Not in my
I didn't
not
either.
in my playthrough. I know in the E3 demo there is like a giant stadium area that I don't know if you can go to or not. But
Okay.
I did not see one.
Yeah, that's right. You can pet the dog. But you know how I know that? Because I said good boy. I said good boy. That's a good boy. That's how I know you can pet the dog.
I'll believe it when the Twitter account verifies it for me.
Okay. I'm calling him out.
I'm telling you, you hyped up this dog. I don't see any dog petting footage.
We'll get it out there. You know, one of these days, Techland, like Dying Light Twitter is just gonna put out a 30-second video of them petting the dog, and it's gonna have more views than the 2016 E3 footage.
Forget the next dying to know. Just make it 30 seconds
make it
of
pet
petting
the
the dog, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do.
Is there a mall in the game? There are large interior spaces, one of which may have been a mall. I don't know. It's so deteriorated that it's hard to tell.
Is there any interaction with the environment during combat and parkour stay the same from previous gameplays? For example, throwing a bucket at someone, sliding down a flag with a knife.
Now that I have not seen. I have not seen the knife billboard slide from the original presentation. Don't know if that's further down the tree. Don't even know if what we saw was the full tree. No idea. Have no idea if there's
right.
another tree, because legend levels just show up one day, right? They just kind of appear, right? They're not part of the original UI. They're a surprise. So they may have done the same thing here with another skill tree. That's just a shrug. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't see the sliding down the flag. I didn't see the bucket. I didn't see any hunting or a whistle. I know the whistle was a big one.
You can, however, I do believe that the bucket may be one of those opportunity weapons that are just like laying around.
Okay.
Like the spear, because the bottle doesn't really do any damage, but it immediately staggers somebody. So the bucket may also stagger somebody or something to that effect. Spear does a fuckload of damage.
The spear's overpowered.
There's a lot of spears too. There was more than I thought there were going to be.
The spear you can pick back up, right? Or is it just one and done?
I don't know. I didn't try picking it back up.
I know the arrows you can't. The arrows are just one shot,
arrows you
and that's
can't.
it.
Which is why I feel like it's okay that you can craft so many, because in the first Dying Light you can just keep picking them back up. But yeah, once you shoot this homemade arrow, odds are it's probably not going to be reusable.
That's a lot of people keep saying they had a big problem with me calling the bow overpowered. Like in my review, like, oh, bow's supposed to be overpowered.
Yeah, you're supposed to be overpowered. It's
bow's supposed to one-shot
headshot.
headshot everybody.
Okay, so that can be immersive, but health bars are just right out. Like,
yeah, right. They
oh, it's okay that it's too strong.
They tweeted about the health bars.
Yeah, I saw Unsee tweet about the health bars, and like I knew that was gonna happen. Like Techland isn't trying. What I think a lot of people think is that Techland is just trying to make a bad game to spite them. And they're like, you didn't do it. You didn't deliver on what you told us.
That's okay. It's just health bars and HUD. If that's the biggest issue going on right now,
Yeah, right?
then making a
That's
good
it.
game.
Make it a good game. That's one thing that I like. I like watching in the Dying Light 2 Discord is just people coming in and starting shit to start shit.
And 90% of it is the health bars.
Right. How big is the map? It's big up. It's big up and down. It's big up and down.
I didn't get to explore it down. I know up. It's massive.
There are some footage of people going down. And it's scurry.
I was impressed. Some people got to areas where I didn't even think of. Like, because I tried doing some quests, but then the dev was like, yeah, you can't do that. You're gonna run out of time. So it couldn't happen.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Legit Skittles.
Any unique weapons?
Thank you so much again for another donation. Stop donating. You've donated so much. Any unique weapons that you can find? Most likely.
The Last Hope was unique.
Yeah, it's starting purple weapon.
Yeah. He gave us a purple weapon to start. I did. The other ones we had was like the bill hook. We had a couple of bill hook weapons that were pretty easy to find. Did you the gun hammer?
The gun hammer.
Oh
my god!
hammer?
People keep talking to me about this gun hammer. I never.
Let me see if I can find a screenshot of it.
Hello, zombie infected. How's it going?
It's basically a pipe with like a Glock taped to it, so that the handle is like the hammer part of the Glock, and you just like hit people with the Glock because there's no ammo anymore anywhere ever. Here, have $5.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Hey, there you go. Nice.
Has Jonah or Techland played New Vegas?
Oh, dude, I'm a gamer, okay? So I have played pretty much anything you can throw at me, and I played New Vegas several times. So yes. Did you blow up Megaton? I blew up Megaton.
I never got that far. I never fully beat it.
Gunhammer is the future of combat. Can you use a crossbow? Don't know. I haven't seen a crossbow yet.
Oh, it's a good one. Hey, Jonah, for up-and-coming voice actors, what are some practices that we can do to make our voice better?
Singing is very good at strengthening your voice. Singing things in musical theater or things that are very lyrical, that have a lot of ups and downs, not rapping. That'll help you warm up your voice and use it, but to strengthen your voice, singing, warm-ups like glissandos and things like that, a lot of musical intonations, warm-ups. Using it really helps. Something that I've noticed in working in the past few years is that if you go back and listen to things that I've done 5 years ago, and then things that I've done now, my voice has changed dramatically. Just because I've used my voice every day for like 6 hours a day, and that like puts a lot of seasoning on your vocal cords and makes them sound nice and wizened. So just using your cords. That's why like sailors and like, you know, people that have to shout for a living have really cool voices when they're older. It's nice and deep and ruckly because their cords are so thick.
That's really good advice. There you go. For
I won't stop donating until I hear the Aiden Batman voice dialogue. You don't want this. You don't want this. You don't want to hear it. You didn't want it in the game. You can't even understand what he's saying because he's mumbling so much. I don't think you get this. Like it's Batman. It's Christian Batman.
Christian and they made it pretty far, right? That voice.
Christian, the Bat voice went for a while. It was like the year we started recording actual script stuff when we sat down and we're like, okay, we're not just fucking around anymore. This is the real deal. What are we doing? Like, are we committing to this or what? So the dialogue editor wanted to keep some of the Batman-y stuff. Like when situation is dire, they wanted to keep the playing the cards close to the chest, kind of dark, I'm going to get my job done thing. But whenever we have levity, whenever he's parkouring, whenever we're not, you know, overburdened by the plot, he can have, you know, the brightness to him. He can have the fun. He can be the young kid that he is. Bruce Caldwell. Caldwell Enterprises. CEO of Caldwell Enterprises.
And you said the city is the moment that you knew that you had Aiden.
Yeah. Yeah. It just happened. It just clicked. It's pretty surreal. I honestly, when everybody asks this, it's just like, how do you feel? What happened? It was like winning the lottery. Honestly, I had gotten word they had replaced me at one point, from one of the producers that was doing the temp voice work. They're like, yeah, they're going to try and audition other people and go with somebody else. So they did. And they went with somebody else for a period of time. And after a couple of months, I cried when that happened. I'm going to get that out of the way and be a little bitch. I cried when they told me I got replaced. I called my mom and I said, Mom, I'm not in Dying Light 2 anymore. I didn't get it. This is just how it's going to be. I'm going to have to, this was before I had done anything. And she helped me. And then 3 days later, I get an email from George, my buddy, and he's like, hey, so they didn't like anything the other guy did. So we're bringing you back. And I'm like, oh my God, why are you doing this to me, Techland? But like, that's just being an actor, you know?
I can't even imagine the stress and anxiety for those 3 days. My God.
Yep. I was just like, well, now I have to like figure out what I'm doing with my voiceover career. I gotta like, what am I gonna do? I'm the kind of guy that like when I get defeated, I kind of have a second win, and it's like, no, I'll show you, that kind of thing. Like I'm gonna do this even better. But yeah, that was difficult. I finished. It gave me the motivation to finish my demo reel though.
Techland does a little trolling.
Techland, guys, you got to realize Techland is a multi-million-dollar company that has investors and things like that. They have to like keep going. Also, like, it's just like doing a movie. It's just like doing a multi-million-dollar movie. It doesn't matter what I think. They can do whatever the hell they want. But they came back and they let me do my thing, and for that I am forever grateful.
I wonder what if they did like the Batman voice for the other actor too.
Maybe. But I'm a fan of what we came out with. Mm-hmm. Just how relatable I think Aiden is more so relatable than Crane.
Oh yeah.
Just because of the age of the people playing, honestly, too. Like this is for 18 to 34, and Aiden falls right in the middle of that, like smack dab in the middle of that demographic.
He's definitely more easygoing and relatable. Definitely more relatable, and that's entirely on your part. And like how Crane was, just like his backstory and everything, not as relatable.
Right. He was just a vessel.
Yeah.
to play Dying Light. Yeah.
Your standard military CIA guy that a little bit of a personality, but not much going through right there.
Aiden's a human. Aiden is actually 47. No, I think he's like 26, 27. Oh.
They're gonna have a heyday with the age. They're already doing that because someone else said he was a different age.
Great.
You'll see that in the Discord soon. How many hours is the game? I think they said around like 80 if you do everything. Let's see.
I hope you get a game award in 2022. Me too, man. That would be sick. I'm not going to hold out hope, but it would be really cool to get a game award, at least a nomination. Does really well in the story and script for the next year's game awards. Let's hope. But you got another thing. I want to stress this again. Most things in the game awards are produced in the West and 100% produced in the West. Like I don't think Cyberpunk got nominated. Well, obviously it didn't, but like it didn't get nominated for anything. For its story or whatever. And most of the things that do are, The Last of Us and Horizon Zero Dawn.
Most of like the PlayStation like exclusive ones because they're all made here.
Spent $1 billion on them. Aiden, I don't think Aiden is Aiden 6'3"? I don't know if I believe that.
Where'd you get that? No,
Chad
where'd you get that from?
Yeah, where'd you get that number? Did I tell you that? I hope not.
He's gonna be way taller than you.
Oh God. I hope not. He probably is, honestly. Favorite Dying Light content creators? OniZombies.
I have the gun now. Point to him.
I mean, I love all of them. I'll go on anybody's. If I have the time, I'll go on anybody's YouTube. He is. I asked Timon. Okay. I don't know if I believe Timon in that case. We'll have to see. Maybe he's just slouching. It's not very. What I'm getting at is parkour is a short man's sport. It is not very conducive to being a very tall, lanky person. Usually, when you're shorter, it's easier to throw your momentum. What is Aiden's height? I headcanon Aiden as 5'10".
Doge, why do you keep asking him his opinion on Irish people?
Aiden is 8'9", a Goliath of a man. Damon Mills is 6'3", so I look like a gnome compared to Damon.
I'm gonna look at my Discord because they have a lot of questions in here.
Yeah, lay them on me. I got maybe about another half hour, or I need to start moving along.
Oh, this is a good one. I don't know if you've watched it. It says, not as serious, but what does Jonah think about the animated short, The Jonah?
Oh, it was really good. I liked it. I like the animated shorts that they're doing. It adds a lot of world building. It has a lot of potential for Easter eggs in the game. I had fun. I had no idea that was coming out. I had no idea it was going to be called The Jonah. But pleasant surprise.
It's voiced by a freaking corpse. I was not expecting that one.
He did the voiceover. No, I don't think anybody was. I don't think Corpse was expecting that one. Aiden's pushing 9'3". Aiden is 55 feet tall.
We answered a lot in here. Let me I'll just ping everybody.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll just casually ping 1,500 people.
Let me go grab some more coffee. What are the possibilities we'll get a PvP mode? Okay, I don't know the possibilities. I can tell you as a gamer and somebody that likes the game, I would totally love PvP. Please bring back Be the Zombie. I know a lot of people love Be the Zombie. I like Be the Zombie. It's probably one of the best asymmetrical game modes in gaming right now. And they would be fools not to include that at some point, because never mind.
Don't spill it, Jonah. That's what they're saying. Is the game awoke? Is Corpse a character? Jonah joins at Discord when? Is there fast travel? No one really knows about the fast travel. I'll say that one for sure.
I had a tooltip that said fast travel.
I don't know if that's going to stay in the game, but I had a tooltip that wasn't in menus. That said fast travel. I don't know if it was an unlock. I don't really remember. It was in passing.
Is that Shiri? Is that Shiri under your bed getting ready to come at you?
I don't know. But again, the guys, you got to realize that everything that we saw is subject to change.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How different it's gonna look when it actually launches in February.
Because I mean, they could change everything. They could. I mean, because we don't know how easy it is to do anything or how hard it is to do one.
Okay. Well, best part about being a voice actor.
I stole this joke from another actor, but the best part about being a voice actor is going to work in your pajamas. The worst part about being a voice actor is that nobody really likes it when you show up in your pajamas. Am I not in Oni's Discord? I thought I was. Hold on. Do you have a link to your Discord? There it is. Found it. Boom.
A lot of developer questions. I'm trying to weed out some of them. There he is. The Jonah has joined.
Hey.
You can now be a part of my everyone spam.
Excellent. Good.
We
That's
do.
what I like when I join a Discord server. We do a
Just-
little at everyone. We do a little at
we do a
everyone.
little at everyone around here. Just mute notifications now. I'm gonna warn you.
My favorite drink? Oh, this is awfully specific. My favorite drink is, at least soda. My favorite soda is Diet Dr. Pepper. I had like 3 when we were playing the game.
Dude,
They were good.
I looked over at you. You had like 5 cans of Dr. Pepper.
It was Dr.
Or
Pepper,
no,
and
no,
I was
Red
drinking
Bull.
two Monsters.
Was it
Yeah,
Red
I had,
Bull?
no, Red Bull.
Red Bull, yeah.
Two Red Bull and a couple Diet Dr. Peppers. Diet Dr. P. Is Aiden an alpha male? No, he's a sigma male, bro. Aiden holds frame like a sigma male. Will there be a beta? No, Aiden's a sigma male.
I'm spamming my
Only
Discord
beta.
chat if you guys want to join.
Only beta is Barney.
God, I hate this. All right, here, let's get controversial. What's your favorite character that you voiced so far?
Oh shit. Okay. As of right now, probably Aiden. But there's a hierarchy here. I have spent the most time as Aiden. So I know a lot of you guys like Legosi, but I have spent the most time in the booth as Aiden. Legosi was probably only about 4 or 5 days in the booth, but with Aiden has been weeks in the booth. So there's way more of me in Aiden than there is in Legosi, but there is a lot of me in Legosi. So there's that. I like Aiden, Legosi. The new show that came out that you guys should totally watch, Super Crooks. Johnny Bolt, the character I play. Oh my god, he's cool as fuck. He is so cool. Kind of an idiot, but he's very cool.
Is he the main character?
Yeah, he's got the beard and the hair with the suit.
This
Great.
is the Netflix one, right?
Yeah. I'm a character designer in the making, so did you have any say on what Aiden looks like? No. I didn't think he would look anything like me. And then I saw a 3D render that was leaked a few months ago, and he looked almost exactly like me. And I'm like, where did that come from, guys?
So, did you see an early look of the character?
I saw what you guys saw in a lot of the promo art of I have a few displays over here of the promo art. So it showed like a side profile, and in the trailers you just saw his like eyes and the fact that he had a crew cut, and that was about it. So everything else was after the fact.
I was gonna say, because for the longest time, all we got was his little the E3 statue that you had. That's
Yeah,
kind of what we
yeah,
had
yeah.
about him, and that was it.
That's all we got. And I'm gonna cosplay him at some point, but
Awesome.
I am going to a costume designer in LA to make the costume. So it's like a fucking film like costume. And my question was, I went to PR, and then I went to Sherry, and then I went to my agent, and I'm like, hey, so could you ask around and see, like, so as a gamer, I realized that there is probably going to be armor slots, and the armor slots will probably be customizable with different pieces of armor. So I'm like, so what does he show up in? What does he start the game in? Because that's probably what the iconic outfit or whatever is going to be, that what he shows up and starts the game in, and what you start swapping pieces out for. And they're like, we don't know. And I'm like, you don't know, or you won't tell me? I don't know. I think they just didn't want to tell me. Or they just didn't get an answer back, because my agent was like, shrug. So there is also the outfit that he has in the 3D render, which is like that black techwear jacket with like the joggers and stuff like that. And I showed that to the costume designer, and they're like, that looks very complicated. And that looks very, very, very expensive. So it would be way cheaper to do the one in the model that you sent me, but if you want the techwear one, that's going to cost a lot of money. So now I'm still waiting. I'm just going to wait another couple of months and see if they leak anything else, because she said it would only take like 3 or 4 weeks to make.
There was another photo of Aiden that recently came out, I think yesterday or today.
Was it the one with the scars on his face?
But I don't. Maybe.
I didn't see it. I saw it in
Yes,
Oni.
yes.
Ollie put out a video with it in the thumbnail, but I didn't see like a full res.
It's chat. I need your help. Discord. It's
Chat,
me.
link me.
Chat. Discord. Throw it in general. Yeah, he's got a bunch of scars on his face. I don't know whether or not if it's the black outfit that he does have. I think he starts out with like a pilgrim outfit, from what it looks like.
Yeah, the one with like it's got like rags and shit.
Yeah, it looks
I don't
like
know.
rags and like it's like really bland and gray and white.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
I don't think you should do that.
I can't say too much. Is the
you think what? You think?
We'll see. You seem to be getting a lot of outfits. My question is like, so the Techland GG reward is a weapon skin. Not gonna work, huh? How's that work? How's a weapon skin work, huh? Because the weapons they start to degrade and they go away, right? So how does this weapon skin work? Do I lose the skin? Do I get to keep the skin? Do I have to go back to the fisheye and apply the skin? What? How's this work?
Oh,
Is
Galactia.
transmog already in the game and they're just not telling us?
Galactia and Doge, thank you for showing it. I'll show it on stream. We'll cover Jonah's face for now.
Cool.
It'll take about 20 seconds to get to you guys. Sorry about that.
I
Oh yeah, no, it is the black and red outfit. And then
dude, I'd watch the cat fight of Lawan versus Jade. Hell yeah. Oh, that'd be hot.
There it is. Thank you, Doge. Thank you, Glathia. And Dora, thank you for sending an invite too.
Leveling up in Techland GG is really hard because the only way you can get experience anymore is logging in every day.
I've yet to do it. I think I've logged in twice.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's the one that I showed the modeler. Good God, he does look like me. Fuck. Hold on, let me go to their... Let me go to Dying Light. I have to retweet that and see this shit. Excellent. All right, sweet.
Techland GG leveling up is hard. It is. I'm sure it's going to be a lot easier when it comes out.
Frank's got like an apron.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, Frank.
Let's see who else is there. Here's the Colonel. Colonel.
What, can you say anything about, the next Dying to Know?
Well, it's going to be on December 2nd, right?
Yes.
It's December 2nd.
December 2nd.
I'm going to be in it.
December 2nd at 9 p.m. CET, which I think is 3 p.m. for me, noon for you.
I basically told everything that like is gonna happen in it, and they're gonna obviously they're gonna talk about other like contests and things like that, and give you updates about that. But the biggest draw is going to be the 15 minutes of new gameplay that no one has seen yet. I haven't even seen it. It's gonna be pretty cool. It's not. I don't think it's going to be what we've already seen too, because I know that Techland's not dumb enough to
so
show us stuff that we've already seen.
The little snippet that they showed, it was like a building exploding and catching on fire. I saw that. I saw that
that's in the game.
One person had that.
I experienced that. That's one of the last quests in the city that you do, and after it. Then it boots you after you beat that quest. So
I didn't get that
may
far.
start there and then go from there. But yeah.
Yeah, I had once I got to the city, I was just free roaming. Like it was just a lot of fun, just going around.
Oh, can you do the dropkick grunt? All right, let me tell you about special moves. All right. So the way that I did, we did special moves in several different ways. We got a big 5-minute file of we'll start from the beginning. So when you do anime and ADR, you see the thing in front of you, right? You see the media in front of you, the cutscene, the whatever, right? And then you dub to it. You just chase the picture, as we call it in the industry. We chase the picture. So we watch it go, we listen to what happens, and we do it as it happens, right? That's what you do sometimes for anime, especially during action scenes. So what I had the suggestion of doing to them is like, if you're not getting what you want with me doing typical video game ABC reads, which means there's an Excel spreadsheet that has our lines in it. And if the line is help over here, let's go. You go, help, help, help. Okay, next. Over here, over here, hey, over here. Okay, cool. Next. Let's go. All right, let's go. Let's go. Okay, cool. Next. And so instead of doing that, if you don't get that, like that's how you would do a normal session. if you don't get what you want there because the context isn't there or whatever, I had the option. I'm just like, hey, why don't you just get someone at Techland who is really, really good at parkour and have them film a 10-minute gameplay section. Most of this was for me to get me to watch gameplay. have them film a 10-minute gameplay section.
Perfection.
And them just doing parkour. Just whatever. Crazy stuff. And then I'll just chase that 10-minute video in like 90-second chunks. And you'd give me, 15 seconds to breathe, and in between each 90-second chunk, and then I'll just keep going. Because Aiden's kind of superhuman to some extent. He's doing things that a normal person wouldn't be able to do. So I have to take a breath. I have to breathe for like 10 seconds in between my parkour runs. He doesn't. So I would chase the picture, and because of that, I got to do things as they would happen. And then it would come to things that I really want to make sound good. So things that I know happen a lot, like drop kicks. I know you're going to be drop kicking a lot. It's so fun, so satisfying. It's great. You're going to be drop kicking a lot. And because of that, I wanted the drop kicks to be satisfying. So I got to chase all of the special parkour moves. And because of that, I got to see exactly how they would show up in the game. So I got to do exactly what I thought would be good. So for the drop kicks, Crane had some pretty cool sounding drop kicks. But the drop kicks in this, I wanted to sound really vicious. There's one thing that I really wanted to get through is that every fight that Aiden has, he's fighting for his life. He might die. There is a non-zero chance that Aiden will die in this fight. So I had to ratchet a lot of the efforts up to that extent. So instead of like drop kicks being, it's it's him actually putting everything he can into all of these fights. So I'm not half-assing it as much as I can. And there are other moves and shit like that.
Are there variations of you just doing?
Oh yeah. There are variations, like that kind of shit. You really, it's a lot of effort. But yeah, I wanted to make sure that it didn't sound samey and boring and gross.
So there's the drop kicks, the DFAs, or I think they're still in there. Pouncing on top of someone's head.
Yeah, those are
Sound
in there.
for that. Grappling people, throwing them into spikes.
Yeah, that's good. There are other things like stealth, stealth and stealth takedowns.
Sorry, I just saw a comment. Aiden gives himself a hernia any percent.
Oh yeah, right. Don't break it. It's gonna take a while if you break that diaphragm.
Jonah, do you teach any acting classes like many other actors out there?
No. Okay, so here's why. I have been taught to act in a very academic sense my entire life. So it's very much going to school, going to sit down, immersing yourself in the environment, going to rehearsal, learning from people that have been taught to teach. They learned how to teach. However, going to a voice actor that you admire and saying, "Hey, can you teach me?" And then wave $1 bill in front of them, they're going to be like, "Oh yeah, I can teach you how to act." Sure. They may know how to act, and they may know how to act really well, and they'd be really good at it, but they don't know how to teach you how to act. There are two different separate skill sets. And I used to teach people how to act. But then I realized I was just taking money from people that wanted to spend time with me, and they wanted some of an old SpongeBob quote, maybe some of Squidward Tentacle's will rub off on me. That's like what people were thinking was going to happen. And then I realized that I didn't know how to teach anybody. So if you are going to go and do acting classes or whatever, vet your teacher and make sure they know how to teach. Go ask some of the students that they've taught before. Make sure they know how to teach. Because running up to your favorite voice actor and going to his workshop for an hour with like 50 other people is just, you're not going to get the same attention as you would going to like a college class and paying the same amount of money for the same class, and you'd get more out of it. But yeah.
What did the typical class in college look like for that?
It was like an acting class. You would go in and there was you would have a black box theater, which is essentially just a square room with like mylar flooring. That's like this black mylar that has a little bit of give, so there's a lot of movement available. You'd wear really loose clothes, sweats, and a t-shirt to your acting class. And then the person who taught it is either a professor, there's somebody who's a popular director at the school, but they always have teaching credentials. And they know how to work a class, and they know the pitfalls of people who have this person's just coming into the class because they want the easy A. They're teaching a wide variety of people how to act, rather than just this actor teaching people who just want to learn how to voice act. So yeah, it was very casual. You'd get especially for like acting classes, you'd get monologues to memorize, and you perform with people. You'd have scene partners. There was a lot that was very easy about it, but there was a lot of people that stage fright is a lot of things, something that people don't think about until they take the class, right? Oh, you have to get up in front of 30 other people and read your monologue by yourself. That's kind of scary for a lot of people. And then there's like people that don't really act well with others. You have people like divas, but then you have people that are really passionate and really enjoy the work, and love to just. I made some of the best friends I've ever made were in acting class.
What did you guys have like a big final senior semester class? Like it's like a big project?
There's a thing in acting class and in musical theater that is called juries. And at the end of a semester, you go before every teacher in the in the department, and you audition to be in the department again. So, granted, there are a few people like for senior juries. If you don't pass your senior juries, you'll go back and do a couple of classes. Or again, acting is such a creative thing. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just whether you're ready or not. So if you fail a jury, it's not because you're bad at acting. It's just because you have to go back and work on this tiny thing, and then you're good to go, right? It's not like you have to do the whole semester over again. But yeah, we had juries, and you would just go and re-audition to be in the department. You'd have a singing thing, you'd have an acting thing, and if you had like a specialization, you would do whatever your specialization was. Most of the time, it was pretty easy, straightforward, easygoing, not that tough, because it was like it's Western Kentucky University. It's a directional school in Kentucky. Like it's not like Juilliard. But yeah, it was very collegiate, and that's how I liked to learn.
Did you have a specialization? Or you just did the basic ones?
No, I was a musical theater actor, so I would sing, dance, and act. I would sing, dance, and perform. So I would do one of each. Yeah, do a little dance, a little soft shoe, sing a little bit, and then do a monologue.
Any plays throughout your college?
Oh, dozens. I did dozens of plays in college. I've been an actor since I was 8 years old, so I did a lot of plays when I was a kid. I did a lot of plays when I was a teenager. I did musicals when I was a teenager, all the way through college and high school and elementary school. I was always on stage. And then I moved to LA, and I haven't been on stage in like 4 years. It's just been closet acting.
You would never go back to it, is what you said, right?
Well, I would. If given the opportunity and it was paid, I would. I don't think I'd go back on stage just for a passion sense.
Yeah.
Because I feel like my time is better spent learning how to voice act better.
If someone presented to you just like a musical play of your dreams, came up to you tomorrow, say, "Here, I got this project for you."
Yeah.
What project would that be?
I don't know.
And role too. Like,
I really wanted to be in Monty Python's Spam-A-Lot. It wasn't a very like popular musical on Broadway, but I loved that. It was fantastic. Maybe a production of Avenue Q, where I got to play the protagonist. He's pretty funny. He's pretty much an everyman, where it's just like, oh, I'm just here. He's a very Steve from Blue's Clues kind of character. So yeah, maybe something like that. I don't really have a Guys and Dolls revival. Maybe that would be neat. I love Guys and Dolls.
Not like an Aladdin or something.
No. I probably wouldn't do very well doing that.
You could be a good genie.
Thank you. Or I'm going to preload when? February 2nd, right? That's the preload. February 2nd.
It's typically 48 hours before, so it should be. Someone said that the file size was released.
21 gigabytes is not how big this game is.
Yeah, guys, I don't know where you got that.
Hyper compressed or like super compressed. Maybe optimized for PS5, but I don't know about.
Maybe it's that without the day one patch, but 22 gigs. I don't think so.
I downloaded Dying Light itself is like 89 gigs or something like that. It's huge.
Well, now it is.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, all those
I don't
additional.
know. I don't know how much it is on PS4. But yeah, there's a lot of additional stuff on there. Gonna pop out. See you later. All right, thanks, Sponge. Thank you for stopping by.
Does Jonah rise and grind? What is? I get up at noon. I'm an actor. My schedule's wild.
The benefit of being an actor, make your own schedule, sort of.
Halo Infinite multiplayer alone is 26 gigs. Yeah, so I don't know if I believe 21 gigs for a full AAA game.
With the worlds that we saw?
I'm dying to know Jonah's Australian accent. There you go. Dying to know.
Oh, I saw it. It was like a tweet. It was someone just tweeting it out saying it's 21 gigs.
Yeah, Ollie has it in his. He has a new video out that's like talking about it, and he's like, "That's how big that person is really reliable." So that's how big it is, and I'm like, "I don't know. That's how big it is. 21 gigs is awfully. So I can put that on a flash drive."
Oh my god, this is amazing! Someone just tweeted this to me. Oh my god!
How many years of acting school did you take? About 10. I learned how to act for about 10 years. Wait, let me see that. You gotta link me the tweet. You gotta link me this fucking tweet. They're the same picture.
That's amazing.
Oh, that's fucking gold. The Xbox store said 72 gigabytes. Yeah, that sounds way more accurate. Oh, my crush. Of course.
That's amazing.
Beautiful. They're the same picture. That's so fantastic.
That's so
Man, Aiden looks fucked up.
He
got
looks
several
beaten
cuts
down.
and bruises and all kinds of shit.
It's really, you can really see the comparisons between the two pictures right here.
And you can see too, like that picture probably was taken with like a ray tracing. There's subsurface scattering there, and the skin looks so good.
You can see the scar on his neck. This is great.
Will duping and modding prevail in Dying Light 2? I don't know. Those are glitches, right?
They're exploits.
Exploits,
Glitches and
rather.
exploits. I mean,
I saw an exploit for Halo multiplayer that I didn't totally use last night at all.
oh my god, what was it?
Once, just to see what it was. It was oddball, and when you're on streets, you can throw the oddball behind like these crates that no one can get to. So it's just like there, and no one can pick it up. It's kind of a pain in the ass. You got to leave the game afterwards. But there was another glitch we had last night that we couldn't cap a certain point, and we were just like playing for an hour.
What do you think of Infinite so far?
Oh, it's great. It's good fun. It's a combination of a little bit of everything. What I really liked about Halo's multiplayer back in the day was how rock, paper, scissors a lot of the guns felt, and you didn't have to have shroud tier gunplay to be good at Halo. You just had to make sure that you did the right things at the right time. It felt like a different kind of shooter. Because like with Call of Duty, you have to be super precise and your aim has to be super accurate. With Valorant, your aim has to be ridiculously accurate. With CS, your game has to be ridiculously accurate. But you don't really have to. You shoot the person, right? There's no headshot, arm shot, leg shot, body damage discrepancies or anything like that. When the shield's gone, there is a little bit, but like you just have to shoot the person and then their shield pops. I like how rock, paper, scissors a lot of the equipment and guns are. Where like I have this, but I can counter your this with this easy. There's a lot of like, oh, you have a gravity hammer? Well, I have the repulsor, and you can't get anywhere near me to grab hammer me at all. It's great.
The only issue I have with it is that some of the modes are just missing those good Halo Day 1 modes. SWAT.
Oh yeah, like
team
SWAT.
snipers.
Yeah, team snipers, things like shoddy snipers.
Like if you can make some of these game modes in custom games, I don't think they should not be a main playlist.
To be fair though, the matchmaking is kind of wonk. Because like I've been playing with parties, and it's sometimes they get in the same game, sometimes they get in a different game, sometimes I'm loading into a game when they're leaving a game. It's so weird. It doesn't like it, but that's, to be fair, I am cross playing, so it's
a little
bit of a
have you
roll
ran
of the
into a
dice.
lot of cheating and hacking and aimbotting?
No, actually.
Apparently,
Granted,
it's like a rampant issue right now.
I haven't that I noticed. I have probably only played like 2-3 hours a day for the past few days. It hasn't been like an excessive amount. But yeah, I haven't seen too much. I don't know. Yeah, Jay is right. I don't know how the fuck I played Halo without a grapple hook before. That is
so
the most
good.
fun. Grappling the flag, grappling yourself out of anything else,
Great.
grappling yourself towards somebody to sword them. You know, it's so good. Grapple is overpowered.
There needs to be a mode that just has the grappling hook on, like, all the time.
Yeah.
It's
Spider-Man mode.
It's freaking Splitgate, but they need a mode. I have to edit this clip, but I had 5 grapple shots and a sword. I grappled a single person back to back to back.
Oh my god.
It was absolute
How many
madness.
charges is it 4 charges of the grapple before it's gone, or?
It's 4, but you can pick up more, and I think it caps out at 5.
Okay.
So it was funny. Because I premiere my videos now. So I was playing 1 o'clock. It was your video, the trailer playing. So you hear yourself in the background as I'm freaking out, grappling people and everything.
That's fantastic.
Damn, we've been going for almost 4 hours.
Yeah, right?
Thank you so much for coming on.
You're welcome, man. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, of course. We'll definitely have to do it again once the game comes out,
for sure.
Because then everything is on limits. Nothing's off limits then. There's definitely a lot I want to talk about, especially when I have more information about the endings.
Yeah, same. Once I'm able to talk about things. Any acting horror stories? Do you guys want to hear a fun little Easter egg about Dying Light?
Oh god.
Did I tell you the story about the fiber bars, Oni?
No.
Okay. This is going to be pretty embarrassing. So,
All right.
chat, I'm doing you a favor telling you this. But I was recording efforts for this game, and I had been doing anime in the morning. So I tried to eat, but everything was so tight that I hadn't been able to eat anything in the morning or the afternoon, and I had an hour to drive to the studio. So I was looking around my car. I'm like, do I have any beef jerky or anything like that? But there are these Fiber One bars that I had in my car. And I'm like, oh, you know, it's like, what is it, 150 calories? And there's like vitamins in it and shit too. Sure, why not? It also tied me over until dinner. So I had a couple of those, and they were really good. So I had a couple more. And that was my lunch, was like 3 fiber bars. And I went in, nothing else on my stomach besides that and water and tea. So it was about an hour drive. So I let that stuff digest, and I felt pretty good. There's like sugar in it. I felt great. I got to the studio, and it was just an effort session. So I had a full thing of tea. I was ready to go. Effort sessions are different because you don't really say anything. All it is just screaming and shouting, and maybe you can throw a word or something in to the effort to make it sound more real. But like other than that, it's just, you know, reacting. And because of that, we were doing weapon swings. And as you know, the heavier the weapon, the more force you're going to exert. If you're using the last hope, it's not going to be, it's going to be way quicker than you using like a fucking 2-handed mace or something like that, right? So we get about 3 hours into this weapon session, and we're on 2-handed weapons, and I feel it a-brewing in my lower intestine. It starts to get bulbous almost, and I'm just like, this is gas. This is straight up gas, and I already have IBS, so I'm like, I'm gonna have to like at some point go to the bathroom, and we just finished a break, so I did a little one cheek sneak just to be sure, just to see if my thoughts were correct, and I heard I'm like, okay, cool, it's just gas. All right, sweet, I don't have to poop, just gas. Fantastic. Awesome. So we're back in it. I'm going hard. And then I know for a second I hear and I'm like, all right. So the next effort that I do, I'm going to fart. And it is going to be very long and voluminous. and I don't know what to do. So I did my next set of efforts. And underneath of it was... and nobody heard it. So I had the hard choice of being like, hey, can we redo that effort? I farted underneath of it, and it was really loud. Or I could just let that go. And instead, I said to myself, all right, you're going to ask to listen to that back. And if you hear it, you don't have to do it again. Because we were running out of time. And for effort sessions, especially when the union is involved, for effort sessions, if you go over time, they have to pay you for another full session. So they don't want to do that. They want to kick you out as fast as possible, especially when you hit time. So I heard it. I didn't hear anything but the scream. And because it's a scream and technically a sound effect and not like a dialogue line, even if it is there, it's going to be hard to notice unless you listen very, very closely. So there's one in there. There is an effort. Again, there are tens of thousands of efforts for this game, but there is one effort that may or may not have a pretty loud fart underneath of it. If you really listen to it and dissect it really hard, you probably won't hear it, but you know it's there. So yeah, there you go. That's your fun little Easter egg.
There's going to be that one sound file that someone's going to try to recreate, swinging over and over. They're going to try to find it.
You're going to listen to every single one. It's just like a hidden Mickey. Like a fucking hidden Mickey. Oh my god. Fuck. Oh, okay. People who left are mad they left now.
Right. Someone clip that.
How much bigger are the maps compared to the first game? I don't know. Someone will find it in the game files?
Someone's going to do a deep dive and find that sound file.
Let's see if we can find it. Oh, man. That's for you. That was for you, chat.
Sound file is going to be named Dying Light 2 Jonah Stinky.
Fart with reverb. Oh man. That's just how it worked.
Oh my god.
That's how it shook out.
I'm at a loss with words with this story. Thank you for
sharing with us. You're very welcome. It's a hidden Mickey. Squeeze them cheeks. A PS4 Slim? I don't know. We played on PS4 Pros and it was locked at 60 FPS, so
30.
Oh, 30. It was locked at 30 FPS. Sorry, my bad. I can't believe Jonah Scott farted. I'm going to find that effort and mod the game to put the fart with reverb boomerang behind it. Oh, hell yeah.
Every sound file is going to be that file. This is why we need mods. This is why we need Steam Workshop support on day one.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this here too. If you guys are playing Halo, I'm not in Halo. It's Ray Chase. It's not me. Ray Chase and I sound a lot like.
There was someone in there that sounded a lot like someone familiar.
Yeah, it's Ray Chase.
And I kept thinking it was Troy Baker, to be honest.
Somebody tweeted at me, I'm going to stand on a roof in Dying Light 2 with a sledgehammer spamming melee just to hear the swing with a tiny fart sound in it. Oh, man.
Bro, I'm going to make that its own video.
Finding the fart?
The hunt
Finding
for the fart.
The hunt for the Dying Light 2 fart noise.
Did someone clip that? Please tell me someone clipped that.
I hope so.
That story is worthy of its own upload.
I will give away one PS5 to anyone who can find the fart.
Dying Light 2. Jonah Scott has a secret.
Dynamic parkour, but every time you do a jump, the sound climaxes and it's just a reverb fart. Yeah.
God.
Oh man, we're 12.
All right, what time is it? Okay, I need to eat. I need to go eat.
All right.
It has been gas.
Oh my god.
See what I did there? Oh man.
Jonah, thank you so much for coming on.
You're very welcome.
I asked this with everyone I've interviewed, which is just one, so I'm going to make it a common thing. You said a little message already, but is there anything else you would like to say to the community back home?
Yeah.
Dying Light 2.
Thank you guys for letting me be a part of the community, and thank you for letting me be Aiden, because I know for a fact, working with Techland, that your guys' voice has a lot of sway. Whatever you guys say, they are listening to pretty much everything. Unti has his heartbeat or his finger on the pulse of this community more than you probably think. And this is literally a dream come true for me. I'm trying to be as sincere as possible after that hilarious story, but this is literally a dream come true for me. And the only thing that I want is for you guys to like Aiden as a character, for you guys to like the story, and for you guys to have as much fun as humanly possible with the sequel to one of my favorite games of all time. I usually sign off on my stream with this little message, but be excellent to everyone you meet, because everyone is fighting a hard battle and sometimes you can't see it. I love you all very much. And I thank you for letting me be here with you and celebrating in the next couple of months. It's only a few more months. We got, what, 69 days? Nice.
Nice.
Something like that.
Alrighty. Thank you so much, Jonah.
I'm going to go eat. I'll hang out in the Twitch chat for a little bit, but I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jonah. I'll message you a little bit later.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you guys.
Thank you so much. There it is, friends. Done. We went on for 4 hours. Holy shit. That was a while. What's up? What's up? How's it going? What's up, dog? Doing good? You're doing good. Yeah. Thank you all so much for tuning in. This went on for a lot longer than I thought. Jonah, if you're in here, thank you so much. If you guys haven't already, do like the video. Do all that for me. I will link in my Discord to you. If you want to keep the conversation going, you can go and join that. I will link Jonah's Twitter page to you. You can find him basically everywhere. So Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, on your Netflix. We're almost at 650 likes. Thank you. Jonah, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you. I'll spam Jonah's Twitter to you. Do check him out. Jonah, you're awesome. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing at the community. Really do appreciate it. Not that many voice actors are so engaged with their community and everything. So it's happy to see that you are doing this. For anybody that's tuned in late to the stream or anything like that, I might go and upload some highlight clips later on. Doge, you timestamped it for me. Thank you so much. Thank you, Doge. I do appreciate that. I might go and timestamp it fully later down the road, because there is a lot of information out there, a lot of good stories. Might upload that fart story on its own. I think that's a good one. So, yeah. We'll go and see if you haven't already. Thank you all so much. And I'll see you tomorrow with another Dying Light 2 video. We're going to upload videos every day until the end of the year. And also thank you so much for 20,000 subscribers. I do appreciate that so much. So with that said, I'll see you guys later. Have a good night. And more importantly, good luck. Now I got to awkwardly go over here and hit the button because I didn't do it before. All right, see you later. Bye-bye.